Here we are, folks. Episode 88, Abomination Vault's Goodness. We're about to get the show started. Got some new faces appearing in the session tonight, which will be introduced at the appropriate time. We will introduce the players, though. Get that out of the way right from the get-go. So, let's get into this. We're gonna pick up where we left off. Great combat in the last session. It was bloody, it was brutal, it was nasty. It almost came to an end for our companions. But considering we only had 3 players as opposed to 7 tonight, wouldn't have been a good idea. So here we go. Let's do our introductions. Let's see who's playing tonight. Tell me about your character, your aspirations and fears for the evening. Let's start off with Kyle. What's going on, Kyle?
Hello there, my friends. I'm Kyle. I play Bjorn, the 7'1", 290-pound hulk of a man. He's our fighter archetype cleric. More on the religion-y side than the magic-y side. Yeah, he's our frontline combatant, likes to get in there, all about justice in his own way, in very unique situations. So as far as aspirations and hopes, I'm playing with fam, so this can go any which way he wants to. I'm going to have a blast. Fears? I don't really have any at the moment. I mean, I'm sure I'll develop some as the night progresses. See what's behind that door. Might be another run for our lives type of deal.
Could be.
We gonna find out.
Could be. Thanks, Kyle. You'll start off with a hero point tonight. You'll get a bonus for the recap, which I know you're going to be doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we got Rachel. How you doing, Rachel?
Hey, I'm not too bad right now. I'm pretty excited because tonight I will be playing Cypher. She is an elven bard / rogue. I feel like I've said this many times as we introduce our characters, but she is happy to sing along, but by her own terms. She doesn't like to be pushed around, and really her only objective down here is to collect the cool stuff, and, you know, who cares about the friends we make along the way? Oh, I think you might be on mute, Fritz.
I was muted. We'll just ignore that. Didn't happen. Thanks for that, Rachel.
Yep.
We're going to slide over to Karma. What's going on?
Okay, there we go. Hi, I'm Karma. I'm back again. I play Karma Sunseeker, the War Priest Cleric. She's there with the companions because she deemed a vision that she had to be done by Iamode. I can't talk. And she traversed the lands until she got to the Abomination Vault so that she could protect the companions from, you know, what might lie within the tower. Spheres and stuff. I'm afraid I might have been too late to save a companion, actually. So we'll see how our very own Bjorn is when we start off, I suppose.
Excellent. All right, Karma, got your hero point. Thank you. And then we're gonna go to Dizzy. How you doing, Dizzy? Returning once again with the Mountain Dew supply. What's going on, Dizzy?
I play Salsaria, the Elven Ranger support, and pretty much just going with the flow.
Going with the flow. Okay, got your hero point. And new tonight, our first session, he played in Rachel's game, I think last week. Did a great job of it. He's going to be joining the campaign here. And that's going to be Fred from Sweden. How you doing, Fred? Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Be vague with
Fred.
your character. Don't.
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm Fred. I'm joined today by this little guy who's Balder, who's a Sphinx cat sleeping in my lap at the moment. I have 2 more that you might see. They usually are here somewhere, especially when I'm on webcam. I will be playing a character known as Draug. That will be introduced during the session today.
Awesome. Excellent. I hope you enjoy the session. I know you will. Glad to have you, Fred. And
Thank you.
you'll start off the session with a hero point, by the way. And we're going to move on to another new player tonight who also was in Rachel's game last week, and that's Kat. Introduce yourself, Kat.
Hello, and yeah, I'm Kat, and I will be playing Martova tonight, a cleric, and I'm honestly super excited to play the cleric tonight. I'm not used to playing clerics, but hell, I'm in for it.
You are. And we'll be glad to have you with us. And I said there was 7 players. There's actually 6 because I have Fred duplicated twice on the screen. That's my bad. So there's 6 players tonight. All right, fantastic. So that's our lineup. And of course, missing is Jesse. He should be back in about a week or two. Look forward to that. Probably be bringing Valafor, because Sheppy is on a quest somewhere else at the moment, but I'll look forward to that. I know everyone will too, seeing Jesse's return.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's get into this. I think we're all excited to play some Pathfinder 2nd Edition with a touch of remaster in there. We're slowly making our way into the remaster realm. That's what we're doing tonight, and I'm excited. I know that. So let's do a recap and get right into this. And Bjorn, you're going to do the recap tonight, and you'll start off with an extra hero point. I should mention that Kat, I believe it's Kat, or Dizzy gets a bonus hero point tonight as well. So you have 2. Everybody else has 1 hero point, except Bjorn, who's going to earn his 2nd hero point tonight by doing the recap. So Kyle, take it away.
Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack in this one, guys. Yeah, we kind of started off from a combat in a very precarious engagement with a kind of an illusionist, kind of almost. He had a bunch of illusion spells we had to fight our way through. We finished that combat rather quickly. My dice came alive, thankfully. And then, yeah, we decided we were going to mill around, but we actually found a shard on the deceased illusionist. So immediately we were thinking, hey, we can open this door now. So we went to go up there, did some other things, thought, okay, well, let's see if we can clean up some of the enemies down here. That was never a good idea. That was never. Y'all should have smacked me as soon as I said it. Because we went to engage a creature down a hallway. Very gnarly, very nasty. We opened the door. Pretty vicious engagement broke out. Yeah, creature pretty well destroyed Bjorn in every sense of the word. Everybody was kind of throwing spells and arrows, and I believe at one point Cypher even used an explosive arrow. I believe that was right, Cypher, explosive arrow.
Yeah, my one and only.
Of course. And yeah, so that was very effective. Till I waded in, things were kind of okay, and then yeah, I completely paid for my transgressions on that one. It was pretty brutal. But against all the odds, Karma's fantastical healing, Bjorn went down, and Cypher came in and braved quite a few claws to get Bjorn out of there. And yeah, we fell back into another room. Karma immediately went to work, patching up, pulling bandages, wrapping up people, saving Bjorn. At least for the moment, pretty hairy situation there. We had to withdraw back. They pulled me out of there, shut the door, barricaded it shut, and then yeah, we kind of did some healing and kind of left it right there.
All right, thanks for that, Kyle. And let's get into this. It's Gazra the Ninth, 4719. Early morning hours, although the companions probably don't know that. They can estimate it. The battle was brutal. The battle was horrifying. But the creature did not pursue the companions as they withdrew to a chamber, recovered as best they could, bound their wounds, determined to go back and face off against this strange creature, this abomination, to retrieve Bjorn's fallen, lost sword. They would have to fight this creature once again. While it's still somewhat weak, they prepared themselves, knocked their arrows, prepped their blades, said their words and calls to Ayamode, and stepped once again into the corridor. Echoes. Just as they were to turn east to their left, they heard voices. They heard someone almost screaming, yelling passionately in the distance, coming to the west. Listening, they could recognize the words, although barely. It sounded like someone was calling to the Dawnflower, the goddess. Seren Ray. Words were strong and bold. Cypher from the rear looked, using her dark vision. She could see, she could just make out someone standing in front of the blocked doorway, which was actually a wall, glowing, pulsing with red. It was the doorway that the companions were trying to pass by finding the shards, of which they have 4, I believe. And according to the imp, 4 is all they need. Although it requires 5. There's 5 indentations in the center of the door around what looks like a pentagram. But Bjorn, you hear this strong female voice coming, calling to the Dawnflower. Cypher describes, there's someone there in the distance. I can see them. Their arms are outstretched. Their head is tilted back, like as if they're calling to the Dawnflower in some kind of ritual. What do you do, Bjorn?
Seeing what Cypher was relaying, Bjorn would kind of look back to Cypher. A ritual could be emboldening more power into this place. We should investigate. But appear my weapon will have to wait for another day. And Bjorn will slowly start to head down that way, kind of pulling the bandages off as he goes.
Okay. We'll get into marching order and stuff in a bit here.
Can I give Bjorn my weapon?
You can do whatever you want.
I'd like to do that. We should have him armed, and I can sit back and heal without needing to have that.
Do you still have that Warhammer, Bjorn?
I do. Okay. Have my weapon, at least a weapon.
Gotcha.
Yes.
As long as you're armed, you know.
Yeah, but do you prefer the Warhammer? Or would you like a longsword, or I don't know what weapon Karma's offering.
That would be, I think it's the same thing, +1 striking.
Oh, okay.
I'd prefer a sword, but I will not strip anyone else's armament.
I'm a healer. I should be able to protect myself with other means.
And you do this as you travel somewhat swiftly to the west, towards the door. And as you do, this person standing in front of this wall, this barrier, where you feel Arevian himself, the demon lord, lies beyond. You get to about here, Bjorn, and you stop.
Yeah, and at this point, he's kind of taken the long sword from Karma.
And at the same time, Cypher takes the regular longsword from the bag she has and gives that to Karma. This is nowhere near as good of a replacement, but it's better than nothing. Well, he has your sword. Please take this.
Okay.
Can you guys swap? Could you get access to that, Kyle?
It basically says the same thing as I do, so Karma, if you want to just mark yours as dropped, then I can reactivate mine.
How do I do that?
I got you.
If you go to your token hub, one of the options for your weapons, besides attacking, is to sheathe or to drop your items. That's how.
Hey.
It's a quick way to do it.
That'll stay on your inventory, but it'll show up as dropped.
Okay, you took care of it.
Yeah, I got you.
And then the other sword, do I have that?
Can you put that in the party token, Cypher?
Yeah, it's just a regular longsword.
Oh, okay. Now I got you then.
Yeah, I technically have 2 of them, and I didn't realize. I've just marked them as dropped.
Gotcha, Karma. You should
Alrighty.
have. There you go.
All right.
Quick and easy.
Okay, we good?
Yep, good.
All right, Martova. You've traveled for hours through this monster-ridden gauntlet. Although most of the creatures seem to be felled already, slain. You've seen many bodies on the way here, carcasses rotting, the stench. But you've managed to make your way this far down deep below the gauntlet. And here, it looks like this is it. This is the goal. You've reached it. The name of the Dawnflower. But you must get past this wall. The symbols you recognize, they are symbols of Asmodeus, dark god of the abyss. With your arms outstretched, calling to the Dawnflower, putting down some type of ritual on this door, this gateway, this barrier that bars your way to these demons. They must be cleansed. This whole place must be cleansed, and it's going to start here. You hear footsteps behind you. Stopping, turning. You see them approach. You draw your weapon. Who is there? Who are you? You proclaim. Bjorn, how do you react?
To seeing her draw a weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, Bjorn will kind of approach, his own sword kind of raised. And who are you?
Go for it, Kat.
And Martova, having a sense of almost defiancy, she just simply looked up at Bjorn and, in a very quiet voice, simply said, Martova.
What are you doing here? And she could see on Bjorn's armor were the holy symbols of Imode, flaming longsword. That he's kind of not really showing them. He's more kind of defensively approaching her, as it were. Yeah, kind of very pinpoint. You can hear the kind of aggression in his voice and this deep, commanding essence. State your business here.
And Martova, simply inspecting the sigils on Bjorn's armor, walked around him, and while she did that, she simply said, "Oh, nothing much at all. Just simple things. Simple quests, simple little things. That's about it."
I am in no mood for riddles, speak plainly.
And Martova just simply stood in front and, with a slightly exhausted sigh, looked back up at Bjorn, and she herself didn't precisely know why herself was here, but with the very little certainty she did have, she simply said, "Well, when I was exploring and such, I stumbled upon some things, and I could almost sense the stench of demons in here. So, and when I sensed that, I ended up exploring in here and discovered this wall here." And she looked back at the large door with the pentagram on it.
Yeah, Bjorn would kind of slowly lower his sword and kind of come out of his stance. You mean to pass the doorway?
Indeed. I am.
Who sent you here?
So, just a little bit for you, Kat. Your character's new to this whole area, this region, Otari, the Starstone Isle. You know about the Isle. You were born here, actually. But you haven't been to Absalom, which is 3 days to the east. Otari is new to you. You quickly picked up on the rumors about the Gauntlet and what lies within. Abominations to the Dawnflower lies here. And that's your main motivation for coming here. How much of this you reveal to the companions is totally up to you. But trekking through the Gauntlet, which has taken you a good 8 hours of travel, you are tired, you are fatigued. But coming to this door, this barrier, you feel this is what you've come for. These symbols of Asmodeus, demons. Beyond this lies your goal. You're sure of it. And that's what you know. And that's why you're here. You're very much you're very much impetuous. Pushing forward to this goal. This is your thing. Even if it's not the smartest thing in the world, it's what you're doing. And it's why you're here.
I see.
You guys in the back there in the marching order, you can move your tokens up if you wish. Or hide in the shadows in the case of Cypher. Listening close.
How tall is she?
That's up to her.
Martova is 6'1".
All I heard was something one.
She's 6'1".
God, I got a foot on you.
Yeah.
But kind of hearing that, Bjorn would kind of extend a hand to her. I'm Bjorn, member of the Companions, and down here to stop whatever evil is here.
Martova shook Bjorn's hand and nodded. So I would assume that we have mutual goals.
Indeed, but who sent you down here?
Martova thought for a moment. I don't believe you would need to know that, leastwise at this time.
Yeah, Bjorn just kind of chuckles at her. This is Karma. He kind of turns and points to Karma. She's another cleric like me. Two in the back there. He kind of motions for Cypher and Thelsaria to kind of come on up.
Cypher joins them, and she just kind of like gives like the slightest little wave, and then just kind of looks at the walls.
That's Cypher.
And Martova then extended her hand to Cypher.
He just stares at it. Yes. It's good to meet you. It's a good sign. You're not dead yet.
And Martova, being slightly surprised by that, she put her hand back. And she couldn't help but chuckle slightly.
Well, she's not dead yet because we've cleared the bulk of the upper levels ahead of her.
Yeah, well, you know just as well as I do that sometimes, even after it's been cleared, it's still a deadly path.
Granted.
While all this is happening, this conversation, this meeting, Drug. You feel a burst of pain come across the side of your head. Like as if something had struck you. You hear a voice over top of you. You, it's time for another round, perhaps. Your eyes slowly begin to open. Blackness turns to a glowing red faint light surrounding you in this chamber. Standing above you, you should be able to access your token. You should be able to see your token. Standing above you, you are laying sprawled out. Chains bind your legs to the wall. There, hovering above you, is this demonic, horned creature armed with a large halberd with horrifying designs all along its haft and its blade. The room all around you glows red, pulses. You see another demon in the distance. This one above you, he draws back to lay into you one more time with another boot, which strikes you solid in the side. You feel the pain jolt through your body, followed by a quick backhand as the creature leans down into you and comes across your face. One day you'll learn to be a better servant. It begins to cackle, and the other one beyond also joins in the cackling. You could barely speak. Blood trickles from your mouth, your nose, even your eyes. Cuts and wounds cover your body as you lie there naked. You instinctively reach to your back as if to pull a weapon from your sling. But you don't have a sling. You don't have a weapon. You are defenseless. You are bound. There's nothing you can do. The torture will continue. Coming back to the companions, you've met this new character, Martova. Martova. And I guess you've agreed to allow her in the group, because it seems like you all have the same goal, that is to get beyond this walled barrier, this portal. What are you doing, Thalsaria? Kind of hovering in the back there. Anything special going on there?
She would simply nod to Martova, and then she would take probably a couple steps back and just keep an eye on the area and just listen for everything and anything.
Give me a blind perception roll.
Incoming.
And when I say blind roll, that's where, before you make the roll, Cat, Fred, there's an option to make your rolls blind. It's where you don't see the result, but I do. I call for them once in a while, particularly with secret checks. I let you roll the dice, but it is effectively a secret roll where you don't see the result.
Rolling away.
You hear a creaking sound coming from the direction of whence you came, where that creature was, like as if something is walking around. It's probably the creature. He's still back there. But it's not coming this direction, at least the sounds don't sound like it's approaching. You can't see that far, you don't have dark vision. But you assume that's what you hear.
She'll have her bow drawn just in case she had to shoot.
Okay. Bjorn, with this new individual joining your forces, you turn once again to face the wall, this barrier. What do you do?
Yeah, he'll kind of step up to the door. Let's see what happens now. No matter what happens, you, and he kind of points to Martova, stay behind me. And yeah, I guess he'll begin slotting pieces into the door.
Okay. As you take out these shards, you see that what these shards are, it looks like they were a pendant. A solid single-piece pendant, broken into 5 pieces. You have 4 of them. You can see how they all kind of fit together. And all around this pentagram symbol, in the center of the door, there is these 5 nooks. And each one seems to be in the shape of one of the shards that you found. Placing them carefully, calling on Iomote's protection as you do so, you begin to pop them in, and they fit so snugly. It's quite satisfying. 1. 2 of them. They almost pull themselves into the nook itself like a magnet. 3 of them. 4 of them. Only 1 remains. And you pause. Silence. Nothing happens. Pondering this, go ahead and make, if you wish, a religion check to recall knowledge.
Should be on its way, and if it's bad, I'd like to hear a point.
This is a secret check. There will be no hero points on a secret check. What is this roll for karma?
Didn't you say to make a religion check?
Bjorn. If you would like to join Bjorn and investigate, you can do so. Be sure to move your token up there. I did it for you. Are you helping too, Martova?
Correct.
All right, go ahead and make a blind religion check as you try and investigate what. There's nothing happening.
Mm-hmm.
You all look kind of stumped by this because you expected it to open because you've been told 4 of these little shards placed properly will force the door open. But nothing happens. A good full minute has gone by and you're all looking at this door and wondering to yourselves, is there something we missed? So you go ahead and add to this.
All right.
It would be religion.
All right.
Just make a blind skill roll. It's under skills. You can use your token HUD.
Oh, yeah.
Under skills, I think it is, or something. One of those titles there. Yeah, skills. You'll find.
Yeah, I found religion.
Yeah, you can just click it right there. And just choose blind.
Alrighty.
We'll see what you get. Because it's fun to roll dice. Alright. Bjorn, it's going to take more than 4 shards. But looking at this, piecing it all together in your mind, you kind of think that the way to get past this, to break through this barrier with just 4 shards, means that somehow you must imitate the 5th shard, and this would require rituals. It could be done, perhaps placing your hand on the empty 5th nook and reciting some. You have some ideas. You have some ideas what might make this work. If you want to relate this to the others, you can. The net effect is you're going to make a ritual check. It's actually another religion skill check to see if somehow you can trick the barrier to come down.
Okay.
Fool it.
And yeah, he will absolutely relay that. I will need to tap into your power. He's basically asking them to stay and help. As he kind of performs the ritual, I guess.
Right. However you want
kind of look to Cypher and tell Saria.
However you imagine this ritual would look, I'm leaving up to you. And what I'll do, Karma, if you'd like to aid, you can do so. In this case, I'm going to allow you to make a religion check as well. And if you're successful, you're going to add a bonus onto the roll that Bjorn is going to make afterwards. Same applies to you, Martova. You can also make a religion check. Only I know the DC. And if you're successful, it will add a bonus as well. The best bonus of the bunch will be the final add to Bjorn's roll, because they don't stack. So if you'd like to do that, say so, and go ahead and make a blind religion check.
I would absolutely. Bjorn kind of looks to the two of them. Place your hands upon me. And his own hand begins to glow bright, vibrant yellow. And he curls his fingers up into a fist and places it over top the last keyhole. Kind of channeling all of the power that he can into it. Let's see how this goes.
Line religion check, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Basically, what you just another roll of what you just did before.
All right.
Takes some skill to do this. Excellent. Critical success. Thanks to your friends. As your hand lays into this space and it begins to glow, and the rest of your friends next to you reciting, chanting. In the case of your new friend, chanting to Saren Ray, the Dawnflower, for help. Suddenly the whole symbol itself begins to glow. The whole wall begins to glow. The red pulsing that hid the translucent wall begins to change color. It begins to glow. It begins to glow a bright yellow, white in color. Martova, you begin to feel the embrace of Saren Ray about you as you recite words to the Dawnflower. Karma, joining Bjorn as well, you feel the presence of Ayomode at this instance. The wall no longer seems like a barrier. It seems to almost disappear as a wall altogether. It begins to fade. Suddenly there's a rumble beneath your feet. Cypher, you feel vibrations in the ground. You get a little bit concerned, Thalsaria, as you look towards where the wall, the barrier was. It changes. It slowly begins to fade as the glowing of yellow and white light begins to dissipate and fade and fade and fade until suddenly it is no more. The glow of red that barred your way is no more. What stands in front of you is now just a normal door. You feel confident enough, Bjorn, that you could simply push this portal open.
Yeah, Bjorn will kind of take a moment, kind of collect himself, catch his breath, kind of yell for Cypher and Thalsaria to come up and join him. Then he'd slowly push the door open.
All right. The door opens. The sound of stone on stone begins to fill the air as you push, with some effort, this door open. Your friends close by kind of help you, and as they do so, you hear gasps from beyond the portal. Hideous-sounding gasps. "Who's there?" you hear beyond you. You should be able to see the chamber beyond. You can see a familiar sight, a demon.
Oh, yeah.
Lying to the right of this doorway. The room is aglow with red. Let me see, is there any text to read? So, what you see is this, it looks like a cave, natural stone. The whole room glows in a similar red to the door. You see braziers all along the wall that are burning in this red flame as well. Obviously the source of this red glow. That's these little things right here. You can see them. You hear footsteps to the left. And there you see another one of these demon creatures who calls to you, bringing his halberd to bear. "Intruders have come! You are not friends of Orevian." Quickly, Bjorn, how do you react?
Yeah, seeing them both kind of up there, kind of weary from the last battle, kind of seeing them ask questions and such. "We have opened this portal." Trying to think here, fumbling my words. "We Yeah, Bjorn would kind of take one step through the portal.
All right. As you step in, there is some text I could read here, actually. Oh, you disappeared. Let me put you right here. A little too close, but we'll assume you're one step behind. A large chamber of natural stone runs north to south with an enormous stone double door. This is the one you just crossed, the barrier. Lit braziers cast strange shadows on the walls and bathe the room in a sinister red light. As you step in, Bjorn, to this chamber, you see what looks like bookshelves, a sturdy desk in the distance, accompanied by neatly rolled scrolls and stacks of parchment, lie to the north. Actually, let me back these up. Let me back these up to right here. And I'm going to have you step into this position here, so they're actually 10 feet away from you on the back wall. This is what you see. Now, to the north is where those desks and bookshelves are. You can kind of make them out on the map. You also see, directly to the south, a motionless body lying bound on the floor. And as you step in, you see another individual. This individual right here.
Okay. But yeah, he kind of stepped up to let Cypher, because he kind of...
All right, before we go any further, where are the rest of you as he steps into the chamber? Because I assume you're not going to leave him walk in alone. Karma?
No.
Karma, where are you?
I'll follow him in.
Right there?
And Marta will probably also follow him in.
Okay, right there. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, Cypher. One step at a time, closer and closer.
Any words, Cypher?
Cautiously approaches. She was kind of expecting some sort of hazardous trap. When we put the slots in, she gets flashbacks from all the other times that they've run into trouble when there seemed to be none. But now she sees this might be some other type of trouble, and she kind of walks in behind Bjorn with the others.
Dizzy, what about you?
Pelsar is going to hang back a bit. She's going to let the others roll in, kind of give off the illusion that there's only 4 instead of 5. And she's going to place herself in a position so she's slightly covered in the darkness. Hopefully these demons don't have dark vision. And she's going to put her position so if she has to fire on both, then she'll be in a position that won't have any obstructs in the way.
Okay. This door is actually a little bit bigger than a normal door, so it's about 4 or 5 feet wide, and about 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. It's just a single door built inside of this wall. Okay, so we'll treat it as a normal doorway. So right behind Cypher is that doorway. So if you wanted to, I don't know if it's represented on the map. Let me see. If you go here, let me see. Yeah, you can see through that, so it's the whole 15-foot stretch of wall that's a door. Let me try and fix this. Well, you guys plot your next move here. I'm gonna draw a little wall here. I want to put a wall right here.
Yeah, Bjorn's going to whisper to Cypher. What do you think?
Well, if you're trying to grab your sword and go all hack and slash, I really advise against that. First of all, we're with somebody I don't know I can trust. And second of all, well, I'm not going to be much help. And she just kind of gives this terrible grin. Like, very sarcastic.
You are always, I hope. I see a prisoner down in the southern part of the room off to the left.
Oh, sucks to be that guy.
You cannot just leave him.
She doesn't respond. I don't know, he looks pretty comfortable.
I've been on the torturer's table. It is anything but comfortable.
Martova is just giving Cypher a side eye.
Bjorn, you think about others far too much for your own good.
That's my job. I have an idea. Do you think you could talk really effectively to these creatures?
Well, I do know some good tales, and normally I'd say I can talk my way out of anything, but there's a lot of people here, and it's really hot.
Well, yes, because I'm here.
Cypher's feeling claustrophobic, surrounded by like 3 clerics, pretty much. But sure, if you want me to be a distraction, I think I can think of something.
Do you think you could lie to them? At least enough to get us out of this predicament. I don't think they'll let us just waltz through here.
I'll do my best. No promises.
All right, before we go any further, Dizzy, do you see how I've done this? The walls are, it's a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Right in front of you is a 5-foot, kind of like a hallway with a door in it. This is where you've passed through. Now, you're right in front of this door. You could hide anywhere in this chamber that you're in.
Okay.
There's shadows aplenty here, so if you hit like in the corner, you can give me a stealth roll, and they might not even detect your presence at all.
Blind?
Yeah, and I'll record
One
this.
sec.
Just give me a stealth check, and I'll write that down. Compare it with the DCs of anyone that can perceive you.
Roll and come.
All right. As you've entered this room, planning and plotting in your minds, a ruggishly handsome devil steps forward, Bjorn, to your right. As the long rolls of parchment hanging from its horns begin to curl up and unroll again. Friends, weapons away, please. Truly, I am happy to see you. The devil turns to the 2 bearded devil bodyguards, their glaives raised, not halberds, glaives. Stand down, you 2. I doubt they are arrogant enough to fight us. I am a Revian. He turns to you. Vestphalius and contracted agent of Belcora, and he takes a bow. But I assure you I am no enemy of yours. You seek to vanish her, I believe. Put an end to her murderous spirit, perhaps. The threat she poses to mortal life, etc., etc. Perhaps we can broker a deal. One that greatly benefits both of us, with a minimal number of precious lives lost. Perhaps indeed.
And what's that minimal number? Saber just kind of like speaks up and then kind of cuts in.
If you're referring to those above ground who would die, perish before us, there would not be none that survive. But again, perhaps we can spare those lives as well as your own. Perhaps we can talk.
All right, so let's say we're interested. And at this point, Cypher's trying to talk to, like, distract. And she, like, elbows Bjorn, like,
Yeah, Bjorn kind of growls at the mention of a deal. But he kind of lets Cypher speak. Not really in a threatening stance at the moment.
Well, Bjorn was with her the last time a deal was made. Or was attempted. So he should have some faith in her.
With the sound...
What deal do you propose?
With the sound of this conversation and voices echoing through the chamber, Drog, your eyes once again begin to open. What do you do as you lie there, coming out of this state of almost unconsciousness? Your eyes open and you see these new faces, faces you haven't seen in what seems like years. Humans. You can't tell, but they're not demons. What's going through your head? What's going through your thoughts right now as you lie there, bound?
I lift my head and try to shake the cobwebs out of my eyes.
Look at that guy. Look at that big guy.
Faintly whisper, help, as I cough up some blood.
Okay.
Yeah, Bjorn would immediately look over to him.
The man lying bound on the floor is a middle-aged man, late Middle Ages. He's red-haired. You see that he has a long skullet and a handlebar mustache that drapes over his bloody chest. His bushy eyebrows pretty much completely obscures his puffy eyes at this point. His rotund body is covered in intricate tattoos and piercings, leaving only the chest bare where his mustache drapes down. You can see that on his tree trunk-like arms there's tattoos of wildlife, and on his belly, extending down on his legs and thighs, there are symbols of warding somewhere from the north, like tribal symbols, tribal tattoos. And as he moves around in this puddle of his own vomit, piss and blood, you can see that his huge muscles move around under this layer of fat that he is. And you kind of get a feeling that this man is a bear in human form, whipped, bound and tortured.
And as you begin to stir and move around and sigh, one of the demons approaches. Quiet, you! And he kicks at you. And it hits deep into your side and you feel pain once again. You're not unconscious. You manage to keep yourself conscious. I should point out that your hit points are actually far lower. Right now you're at your max because I brought you in, but your hit points are actually far lower. Like, fatally so. You're not dying, but you are wounded. Don't mind the human. He is providing amusement for my servants at the moment. But anyway, back to our conversation.
Cypher is going to add, oh, I often use humans in the same fashion.
Ah, you do indeed.
Cypher could see Bjorn's grip on his longsword tightening.
Martova is just slowly looking at Cypher with a slightly horrified look on her face.
Now, are you deceiving the demon?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to make a deception roll. Blind.
I will play it safe and use assurance.
Okay, and what is the total?
29. I'm lying about my hobbies.
Oh my.
Interesting. Then perhaps we can make a deal after all. And he looks quite pleased to speak with you, Cypher. Perhaps we have much more in common. You see, I am looking for mortals who are not demons or evil, but those who stand against Belcora, for only they can help me. You see, simply put, you are third-party agents. I need to get out of this dreadful place and return home. There is something I want, but I'm not allowed to go and get it myself. Nor can I employ an infernal agent to retrieve it for me. No. The hands of a mortal foe of Belcora must deliver me my prize. And that might be you. My devils are valueless in this regard, as are the flesh-warp soldiers who serve us.
And where is it that you're located? Where do you call home?
Oh, I am not of this plane. Let's just say that.
And what is this deed or this task you wish us to do?
That is the delight of legalistic contract interpretation. But there is someone far more powerful than Belcora, who I am contracted to, speaking of Belcora, to serve. But there was someone more powerful than even her. Of course, speaking in the past tense, for she is no more. But I am still obligated to this contract, and now I seek a way out. And it is you that can help me. A loophole, indeed. It cannot be me, any of my minions, or an ally of Belcora, you see. The contract was written with the intent that Belcora alone could give me the prize as payment, which, of course, she will not, until I have given her the full measure of service the contract requires. However, a very technical reading means any of her foes can also provide it, and you have thus far conclusively demonstrated that you oppose her, so you are of use. You can help me to leave this place.
But these contracts are bounded even beyond death.
They are. They can be. I require the soul of one named Carmen Rajani. In his living body, if possible, though I can make do, should he perish. That is what I require. I owe the soul of Rajani to someone much more powerful than myself, the one who I am also servant of, one far greater than Belcora. It would be unwise for me to leave the material plane here without it. Carmen is the last descendant of Val Rajani. Now, Val Rajani, let me check and see. Bjorn, you know about Val.
The fighter of the Rose Guard.
The rest of you probably not. Cypher? Well, any of you can make a society check. That includes you, Thalsaria, because you can hear this conversation going on. If any of you want to make a society check to recall this name. But Bjorn, you know, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Or what it means.
I'm going to make my blind roll for that. Because Cypher is curious.
Anyone else?
Could I roll as well?
You can as well.
So what we rolling?
Society.
It's a skill. Look for society to see if you recognize this name or heard it in stories or your DC is going to be a little bit higher because you're new to this town, as is Karma.
Yeah.
And Thalsaria.
Blind, right?
Blind. Okay. So Bjorn and Cypher, you also recall this name. Vol. He's one of the Rose Guard. 500 years ago, Belcora was defeated by the Rose Guard. Vol was one of them.
I also have Rose Guard lore specific. Sorry to interrupt. I could have just used that. It was the same modifier anyways, but I specifically am obsessed with the Rose Guard.
That's right.
Continue.
That's
Please
right.
continue.
So you know this stuff and maybe a little bit more. You can help out Bjorn with this. But Vol was one of the Rose Guard. This was 500 years ago in the past. And the Rose Guard, of course, defeated Belcora, slew her in the upper levels of the Gauntlet. And long story short, Otari was named after the rogue of the Rose Guard who was killed. You guys heard that his ghost wanders the Gauntlet. You haven't encountered him yourself, but you've heard from the other companions that, yes, indeed, there are ghosts here. I was going to do a Sheppy voice there, but no.
He was the one, in fact, that told us.
Yes, indeed, it was.
And this person that the devil is speaking of, Carmen Rajani, is the last living descendant of that member of the Rose Guard. Now, I'll allow you to know something about Cal as well, because the other companions of the group did actually encounter him. He was hiding. He stole a sword from the Dawnflower that belonged to Vol. And yeah, there was a little escapade there where you had to retrieve the sword to break down a barrier. And the last you remember is that Raj was let go to his own devices. You let him go, or the companions let him go free. But he hasn't been seen. He's rumored to be hiding out somewhere, possibly no longer even on the Isle, but he's missing. Okay, he was the town of Otari's blacksmith, but the blacksmithy has kind of shut its doors since then. You all would know this. Okay? So this demon is saying, I need him, or his soul, so that I can leave this dreadful place. This contract I am under with Belcora would be no more. So what he is offering is a contract. One of you, or all of you, would sign this contract. And basically, all he wants in this contract is a simple contract.
All right, Arevian, you've declared specifically what it is you need. I'm pretty sure I know of whom you seek. Where his whereabouts are unknown, but it's nothing I can't just easily find out. we happen to have a great hunter among us. But you still have yet to tell me what we specifically get out of this. I don't want a vague promise. What specifically can you provide?
Well, of course, it'll be part of the contract. Peace for Otari. Yes, I will leave, taking all of my devils with me. And when I go, the barrier preventing you from getting to the lower levels below will disappear. And he's speaking about that barrier behind you to the north, where there's kind of an elevator, and there's this mystical barrier in front of it. That's what he's speaking of. That will be gone. If you would like, I can direct my flesh-warp minions to clear away the blocked stairway as well, giving you a second way down, perhaps. I can even broker further agreements between you and my devils, if so desired. This is what I will offer you in this contract. You only need to bring me Carmen Rajani, or his soul. And he says that quite sinisterly, which makes the hair stand on the back of your necks, Karma, Martova, and Bjorn, being servants of good deities in the world of Galarian. Yes, dark indeed.
Piper kind of makes, just stares at him intently. Not in like an intimidating way, just like she's focused. It says, I cannot give you an answer right away. As you see, there's more of us. We all like to make sure that we're in agreement. And as I might be easily swayed one way or another, the others behind me might need a little bit more convincing.
Yes, of course.
We will come back to you on this answer. But I ask, because I know you are in your own situation, because how often do you see somebody who defies Belcora the way that we do? So she's kind of pointing out, like, we have the upper hand, like, if you want to get out of here. But she says, I want you to call off your minions so they stop attacking us. We can't help you if we're dead. I'm leaning towards yes, but I have to make sure I can, 1, locate said person, 2, make sure that my companions are with me, and then, just be able to make it out of here. So she wants him to call off his minions that basically would attack us in the middle of the hallways. And in addition, she says, what's the story with that slobbering human down at the end, groveling in his own blood?
She is a mere servant of mine. Useless.
Well, you know what you won't need if we set you free? Servants. How about you give this one to us and get more people in this service, this aid to free you?
And he says about that creature you were talking about there, he names as Allure. Oh, that is Allure. Another useless servant of me. She refuses to come out of that chamber and be of any use. But, like I said, if you sign the contract, none of these demons, none of my servants will be here to bother you. In fact, if you're successful with the contract, they will all disappear. And Otari will be safe as well. But I will give you the time you need, but be warned, I do not have limitless time here to wait. I am quite eager to leave this place as soon as possible. You can confer with your friends if you need time. But I am impatient. My guards will not hurt you. And he looks towards his 2 demons in the room. The one turns back around to look at the human bound to the floor. Except you. And he lays into you with another kick into the ribs, Bjorn, and you feel the pain once again. Now, take all the time you need. But again, I am impatient. Discuss amongst your friends. And he snaps his finger. And as he does, appearing next to him, hovering, is what looks this large piece of parchment begin to unfold. It begins to unravel. This would be our contract. And whoever signs the contract will be bound by the contract. But it awaits you. He snaps his finger, and the other hand appears, hovering above him, this long quill of many colors. Bloop. A little drip of blood lands at his feet from the tip of the quill. So at this point, you can discuss amongst yourselves, either here or outside the doorway, what you plan to do. What do you do, Cypher?
Let's withdraw back into the hallway.
Yes. I am going to take hold of that contract and just read it.
And as you move up towards him cautiously to reach up towards the contract, it begins to pull away from you. Oh, but wait. Would you like a copy of the contract to take with you? Of course you would. And he snaps his finger again and appears a duplicate of that very contract. And it doesn't unroll, it just appears as a scroll. That one you can reach up and grab.
She takes that one, and then just before they turn around to have our own discussions, I'd like to sense motive on the demon.
Okay, perception blind.
I'd like to make a warfare lore check against these 2 demons. See if I can perceive just how tactile they are.
Okay. Let me grab the DC for that. And give me a lore check. Warfare lore check. Alright. Cypher. Now, what were you trying to do? Oh, sense motive?
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. DC for this. As far as you can tell, he's up front. He's being honest. It's a hard read. But you sense he's being quite honest. He's not trying to deceive you with this. Now, of course, you do have a copy of the contract he has prepared. You can read it to your delight, and that will require a check as well to decipher and see exactly what's going on here, which you can do once you get to a little safe spot here. If you want to do it out of his sight, you can do that. You do have a copy. And Bjorn, what exactly were you trying to do?
Trying to roll a warfare lore, see just how tactile these guys are. These
Tactile? Well, they're definitely touchable. They're definitely physical beings. But as far as their combat abilities, you've encountered these creatures before. You know their tactics. You know their weapon and their armament. You fought them before. These seem to be of similar descript abilities.
Okay. Bjorn will kind of usher everybody back into the hallway, and he'll be the last one through, kind of taking a long look at the prisoner.
Okay, you guys can vacate your tokens. Shut the door if you'd like. But keep in mind, he knows you're out there. And he's waiting. as far as you, Martova, you're still lying there. Is there anything you want to attempt to do? This demon that's been kicking and weighing into you, he's got his back turned. And he's watching these intruders vacate the room currently.
Can I roll a perception check?
What are you trying to do? And I'll tell you what to roll.
I mostly want to see, like, if they're positioning, if they're in a weak spot or not.
They look totally prepared to take you on.
Man.
If you were to rush in at one of them, the other one's going to come up behind you. You're going to be flanked. You're outnumbered 2-1.
Yeah.
Just you. It would be a dangerous situation right now. And I will say one thing. Bjorn's encountered these before, but they're demons. And the weapons, these glaives that they are carrying, look particularly sinister. They can definitely have a range to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be careful of those things. There's something about it.
Yeah.
No roll necessary.
Alright. So I'll just simply walk out. Oh, wait. I gotta...
Yeah, I put a door there.
Yeah.
I think the way it's made on the map, the whole thing is supposed to disappear. It's strange there's no button to click that makes it disappear.
Disappear.
But I've got it set up. I've already described what it is, so it's canon. It's this door within a wall. As opposed to just a big, giant barrier that, I guess, fades away. I guess what threw me off is there on Foundry, there's a little door there that you can unlock and let the players pass through. But I don't think it actually is a door that you open and close.
Yeah.
It's gone. But I'm making it a doorway. So there it is. Okay, Cypher, you're alone in the room. The door slams behind you.
All right, let's get to the real discussions. No, just kidding. All right.
You gotta go through the middle section, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you've gathered outside the chamber.
Yeah, Cypher goes into even the second set of doors to, second barrier of sound. More privacy. She does not trust, anything found in this, and that includes this, stranger.
Please tell me we are not seriously considering taking that demon's offer.
Cypher shrugs. Well, I feel like there's always a way around these loopholes, these contracts. It depends on what kind of holy man and woman you are. Perhaps I could sign, and you all look the other way. Perhaps we don't sign, and in that case, prepare yourselves for a fight.
I have an idea on that particular front.
Yes.
If you can buy me some time to get close enough to these creatures, then we can spring the trap. Someone would have to focus Aurelian while I'm dealing with these creatures.
Well, unlike you, Bjorn, some of us require a little bit of practice with our faith or resting of some sort. I am in absolutely no position or mood to go hand to hand with anybody of this sort. I don't know if you recall the fight we had just, half an hour ago?
That was much
Where we
different.
got our butts whooped? I don't want that again. I plan to make it out of here alive.
And you may, but there's a captured individual in there as well being tortured. He doesn't have all the time in the world. While we rest and dawdle, for the very least, we cannot leave that person there.
Well, perhaps I can bend my words to convince him that this whomever is an absolute necessity. Our down payment before even signing, but it seems like they need a signature before there's any cooperation.
I will not sign. I will have no part of any contract.
Yes. I was
Can
hoping to just...
can Martov intervene, perhaps?
Intervene in what way? Sure, do whatever you want.
Just kind of essentially state her opinion despite being silent this whole time. Because she's been listening and essentially comprehending knowledge. So, Martov, she kind of decided to butt her way. Well, not exactly, but essentially intervene herself into the conversation by simply stating, but these are demons that we are dealing with, and demons being demons, you can't exactly trust them. So despite almost seeming honest and reverent in ways, perhaps he's just putting on a play. Perhaps he's going to simply sway you all. At least that's the way that I see it.
Indeed.
Well, that's always a possibility, but there's also a possibility he's telling the truth. And Bjorn, what were you doing that whole conversation? Cypher's getting heated. She, looks at him directly. She says, I gave you the signal. I was elbowing you. I was trying to distract them. That wasn't just a mere conversation. We've been hanging out. How long have we been stuck down here? You don't know the signals yet?
Well, I'll just say this real quick. While they're talking back and forth, Halsar is going to slip out between Matova and Cypher, and she's going to just position herself back where she was, just to keep an eye on the door that they all came out of.
Okay, so even though you don't have dark vision and you're completely in the dark, I'm allowing you to be able to navigate this.
Mm-hmm.
The door to the chamber where you just were in was glowing red. That door has been shut. I assume you closed it behind you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're in complete blackness, but you can feel yourself around. Dizzy. Okay, so are you good there? Do you want the door open behind you or closed?
She'll close the door behind her because she feels like they're just going to be squabbling and everything, and she wants no part of it.
Okay. So, Cypher, you do have a copy of the contract. If you'd like to study that contract and look at it closely before, it'll take some time, but it will be a check. It will use, let's see. I don't think you have legal lore.
No. The only lore I have is with the Rose Guard. But as I go to look at this contract and unravel it, she's openly, showing it to the others. She's not trying to hide it.
Okay, yeah, Bjorn will look to Karma. You've been rather quiet, sister. What's your stance on this?
I'm not signing the contract, but I don't think he's lying either.
Yes, even if we were to, say, defeat him, how would we lay down the barriers?
Creature said that if he leaves, the barrier is dissipated. I imagine if we slay him, the barrier would be dissipated as well.
I don't know if we can be too certain on that.
I say we slay him.
Then we find another way. We clear the rubble and the barricade, and we descend down that way.
We don't have weeks to clear out a barricade.
Wouldn't take weeks.
It might.
I think we looked at some other like barricaded area, and it was just kind of like, oh, this will take 4 days. So we decided not to.
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Yeah, that barricade looks solid. It would definitely take some time. Time which you might not have. It's up to you. But taking a quick glance at the contract in plain wording, no check needed. It's quite obvious that basically all he's doing is, if you help him by getting this guy, you just have to retrieve Carmen. You've heard of him. If you could find him and bring him back, dead or alive, both work. Now, you kind of shudder at the idea of a soul going into the abyss, hell. You guys that are of clerical influence, you kind of shudder at that idea and just giving it to a demon without fully understanding what's going on here. I mean, is Carmen an evil guy? I mean, you got to think about that. But it's all you have to do. And if you do that and provide it to him by bringing him back here, he will leave. That's written in the contract. And all his demons will go with him. And he will open up all the barriers. And he'll even unclog that barrier that's going to the stairwell if you want that. But all these demons here won't harm you. Or Otari. In other words, and you pick up on this, Bjorn, being a warrior that you are, is that, so Arevian is behind this invasion of Otari. His forces are going to be the spearhead that attacks the demons. That explains it all. The supplying of weapons and the training of grothlets and creatures and so on and so forth. It's all in preparation to invade Otari, and maybe even further, in Absalom. Who knows? You've seen the maps. It all makes sense. All that will go away with this contract. And it only requires the signature of one person in blood, their true name. Or all of you. Whoever wants to sign it can sign it and will benefit from this. Technically, that's how it works.
So even if we did defeat him, the attack on the town could still be a possibility.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're going to intermission. We're going to discuss some things and then get back into it. So, folks, hang in there. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. What will the companions do? I don't know. Touch and go. We got a conflict of interests amongst the companions. We're about to find out. So you've gathered yourselves together in this chamber to the north outside of the room. Valsaria standing guard outside the room, listening carefully. You begin to debate, what do we do? Bjorn is definitely solid against signing any contracts with demons. Perhaps he won't sign the contract. Maybe Cypher will. Maybe that's all that's required. Perhaps. Quick glance over on the contract pretty much states what he promised. He seems to be up front, this demon, Arevian. It's basically bring him live or dead, Carmen Rajani. That's the key to Arevian escaping this dreadful, in his words, place. Right now, he seems to be in charge of some invasion plans to Otari, maybe even beyond, like Absalom. But he don't want to be here. Belcora's gone. She's dead, but he's still under contract. He wants out. The only way out is if he provides the soul or the body of Carmen Rajani to a superior, a greater demon, someone more powerful than him. That would allow him an escape from this place in his contract with Belcora. It's all right there in the contract that you guys are perusing. In return, Arevian promises to open up all the barred gates of this level to allow access to the lower levels and what lies beyond. It's none of Arevian's concern. And none of the demons will be present. They will not harm the companions nor Otari. All the plans to invade and destroy and bring down Otari in the outside world disappear. At least those forces under Arevian's command. Arevian is a powerful demon. He's the leader of this area. He's the big cheese. And you guys are confronting him. What will you do? Will you sign the contract and provide Rajani and save Otari? Or will you decide to draw swords and just slay him and take the chance that everything will go your way once he's dead? Or will they return? Who knows? They're demons. So Bjorn, Cypher, Martova, and Karma. What do you do?
If he's planning direct assault on Otari, he's a threat that has to be dealt with. And I know that we are in no shape. Our magic is limited. Cypher, perhaps you could negotiate with the Arevian for the release of the prisoner.
I was trying, if you had listened to my words, I was trying, but I'll try again. If it doesn't work, then we're leaving.
Yes, we'll have to withdraw, rest, and then we can return at full strength.
The door opens, Thalsaria. You look quickly, pushing her back against the wall to hide in the shadows. The door opens. And they're stepping into the doorway, bringing a chained, well, he's no longer chained, individual, and throws him forward onto the ground. The door shuts. A voice whispers in your head, Thalsaria. Here, this might be of some help to convince your friends that the contract is indeed to their best liking. This was a voice in your head, Thalsaria.
She would immediately look at the door, and then she'd look at the prisoner on the floor and glance back at the door. First thought that would be running through her head was, what if she tries to go for the prisoner? Will they try and open the door and yank her in? Second thought that's going through her head is, if she can grab him, maybe she can open that door beside her, open it quick enough, throw the prisoner inside, and then close it so...
Alright, so basically what just happened in front of you, Thalsaria, is Arevian spoke to you. You recognize the voice. He's reading your mind. He knows your thoughts. And perhaps the others as well. And for whatever reason, he's commanded his demons to take this individual who, for whatever reason, seems to be of concern to the companions. You're not conversing with your friends. I'm saying the companions as in Bjorn and Cypher. Brought this prisoner into the hallway where you were hiding. They must know you're there because they just threw the body in front of you. And then walked away and shut the door. That's what just happened.
Okay.
And your friends don't know this. But you do.
Well, knowing that her stealth is up and there's no point in trying to hide there,
There you go.
she's gonna try and slip her arms under Fred's, and using what strength she has, she's going to kick open the door beside her, and then she's gonna pull Fred in with her into that room.
Okay, you reach down to grab it. This half-awake human, you cannot budge him. You reach behind you and open the door. And there the others turn to quickly look around, and you all see this. You see Thalsaria. She's kind of trying to pull that individual into the chamber with you guys, but she's having no luck. You all look a bit surprised.
Bjorn will go in and run for the door and try to drag him in there.
All right, no problem.
Hang on, do not speak.
Actually, before that door closes, Elsara's gonna stick her head in there, and she's gonna relay how the demon spoke in her mind and go, "You might want to be careful of your thoughts, because if he can get into mine, he might be able to read your thoughts without you even realizing it." And then she's gonna close the door.
Meanwhile, Bjorn has pulled out his healer's kit. He's wrapping up this individual. Well, you're gonna get back, Fred. As it rolls for me, 12 hit points. Seems our problem is solved, Cypher.
Well, that saves me some time.
Indeed.
Now perhaps we have a deal. A voice whispers in your mind. Cypher. It's a Revian.
She sends thoughts or back, or she just thinks this, and she's just like, it's still undecided.
Remember, I am very impatient. I gave you the human. I only ask someone signs the contract. And all will be well.
Do you dare mock my intelligence? She says. Meanwhile, no one knows what's happening. She's like, do you dare mock my intelligence?
Maybe I do.
You will learn to regret that when you die here alone, never being free. I will make sure that someone here survives and sends notice that no one should enter the gauntlet, and you will lie here dead forever, or perhaps alive in your own misery. And then she's like, just let me sleep on it. And I will give you your answer.
So you're asking for like 24 hours or something before you reply with the contract?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she says, if you dare enter my dreams tonight as I slumber, or any of the ones I travel with, no deal.
I'm gonna roll a die here. Rachel throwing a wrench into the mix here. Okay.
I thought, sorry, I heard that. She'd be banging her head off the floor.
You don't hear nothing.
Thank God she can't.
You just see Cypher's eyebrows just kind of like furrowed, and just like, she's like, has like a look of frustration. Like, how dare you?
Martova just kind of pats poor Cypher on the back. She doesn't know what to do.
There's silence in your mind, Cypher. There is no reply. He only says that, remember, I am very impatient.
All right. Without revealing too much, Cypher says, I think it's time we head back.
Indeed.
And really only
Okay,
Bjorn
good.
and Karma know what cipher means. We head back, aka safe room.
Indeed. I will carry him. See if our hunter can scout the way ahead.
Oh yeah, Anthel, sorry. You're not in the room. That's why I don't see you. The doors are closed. Where did she go now?
She make a run for it?
She would.
I
Like-
wouldn't suspect she did, but she's
Talsari
around.
would lightly tap on the door twice.
Ah, the signal. Alright. Well, at least she can hear us, so she knows.
Good. Scout the path ahead. We're coming out. Bjorn will kind of shoulder this new individual. Kind of carry him as best as he can.
And Talsari would do just that. Do I need to roll a perception check
For what?
to start scouting the area and make sure everything was clear while they start moving?
Yeah, you can make a blind perception.
Okay.
Let me do a little upkeep here. Let's bring you guys.
On its way.
Throg, let's bring you into the group. And where are you? Maratova. Let's bring you in the party token. Blunk. Let's put you on the map. Alright, you guys should be back to the safe room. You've navigated your way back up. Where are you going? You're going up the steps, that spiral round room? That's one way. Or you could go the long way, which is through the trapped room and the level you're on now. Back up those steps and that room where you had that's where Cassandra was killed. And back up that way to the safe room. Which way are you going? Typically.
The quickest way possible.
Jeez, I gotta do math. I don't know. I think it's the stairs. I think it's the stairs.
Yeah, back up the steps.
Up that spiral steps. The big round room. In there would be the quickest.
Yep.
Alright. Alright, you guys should be on the safe room map. Are you all in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here.
Alright, you've made it up there safe and sound. You don't hear nothing but echoes and secretive footsteps in the distance, and your own panting as you move slowly and cautiously, carrying this new individual with you, kind of assisting him, rather. I don't know if you revealed your name, Drog.
Oh, not yet.
But you're now in this chamber that the companions seem to be calling a safe room of sorts. Got some tables, bits of wood where a little fire was actually built in here. Yeah. Karma throws a lock spell back on the door again just in case.
As everything kind of settles down here and the other people in here start doing their thing, Draug will walk away to this, or stump his, or half crawl, half walk into this corner and sit down there in his nakedness and start licking a wound he has on his forearm.
Yeah, and by the way, he's completely naked. Not even a breechcloth. Nothing.
Ah, why'd we bring him along again?
So sorry, would have turned her head.
Yeah, Bjorn would have brought a, robe or something from the safe room over to him. Here, should help keep you decently covered.
Martova is just entirely zoned out. There's not a thought in that head of hers. None.
Wow.
Kind of like a natural airhead.
So you guys do have access, Fred and Kat. There is a couple chests here. There's one that looks like a hammer. You can click on those, and they have equipment in them, stuff in them. If your friends want to share them with you, there's weapons, there's things in there, spare equipment. If you want to distribute them to your friends, you can do so.
I actually have a question.
If you want something, you just drag it from there onto your character sheet or token. And you can also put things from your token or character sheet into the chests as well. You can just drag them back and forth. If you want to trade with somebody, that's a good way to do it.
Well, Draug slowly raises up and puts on the robe and thanks.
You're going to
The
be wearing a
warrior who
robe?
gave it to him. He got a robe.
A
He's
bathrobe.
gonna
Should
Yeah.
explore.
he's gonna wear a robe.
Well,
And
that
Islam.
actually started like an old sheet that, Bjorn's just kind of like fashioned like a toga out of it.
Well, let's toga them. And he thanks Bjorn again and sits down and proceeds licking his wound. Rips off a piece of the clothing and shakes his head as to shake out some cobwebs, and yeah, he rips a piece of the toga and starts to bandaging his wounds. May I roll a medicine check eventually?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of while he's doing that,
Cheat
Bjorn
wounds, it's called.
will kind of kneel down next to him. How long were you in prison there, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. These bastards, they found me. I don't know.
Could be months.
Out. Yes, it could be. I don't know. I don't know how long I've been here. They found me out in the forest, outside.
I'm sorry
Trapped
to
me
hear it.
and brought me here. They have been torturing me, and I don't know how long.
Well, you're safe now. I'm Bjorn, and he will extend a hand.
And as he says that, you feel some type of familiarity about Bjorn. You're not sure what it is. The name perhaps rings a bell. No check necessary. But there's something about him. Something that has been in the back of your mind for a long time and has always been one of your reasons for traveling about. And then you realize, wait a minute. It couldn't be. He doesn't... I can't see his face. Is your helmet off? You don't usually take your helmet off, Bjorn.
Yeah, his helmet would have been off as soon as we got into the safe room. That's kind of the only place he actually does take his helmet off.
Yeah. So it kind of rings a bell in your mind, Bjorn. You for a brief moment, you entertain the possibility that this Bjorn is somebody you've been looking for a long time. Maybe. Just briefly it crosses your mind. But maybe not.
Well, I reach my hand to the fighter in front of me. I'm Draugr.
I'll probably butcher that for quite a while, but welcome aboard.
Thank you for saving me.
Don't mention, it's kind of what we do. Speaking of which, Cypher, I've already forgotten your name, little cleric. What should we do about Arabian?
Draug butts in and... Does anyone have any water or food?
Bjorn will hand him a ration and a water skin.
Yeah, he devours it.
The whole water skin? Wow. Must
Not
really be hungry.
Oh my!
He might bite it, but he doesn't devour the water skin. He devours the ration.
Yeah, Cypher takes notice of how hungry you are, and she'll offer just some more, just for the sheer entertainment of watching someone kind of just like breathe in the food.
Thank
Very
you.
noble of you, Cypher.
Yes, noble.
But we need to decide what we're going to do about Arabian. Thelsarian,
She turns her head to look at Bjorn.
you have a history with this creature.
Not necessarily a history, but I am familiar with him, yes.
What do you know?
Besides being very powerful, if you had tried to fight him back then, your fight with that creature in that cell, you would not even lasted a few seconds before you would have been dead. With Arevian, you need to pick your fights with him, and right now we are in a position where we can't fight him quite yet.
No, we need to recoup our spells and strength.
So you need to figure out when to pick your fight with him, because right now that contract, he's positioned not just you but us as a group in a position we might not be able to get out of. So we've got legitimately have to decide whether we are going to do this or not.
I will not sign any contract.
Then if you try and fight him now, you might as well go and say hello to your god or whoever it is.
As long as you lot survive, I would be comfortable with that assessment.
Telsara's going to glance at Cypher, shake her head, and just go back to focusing on the door.
Cypher shrugs back to her. Like, you know, if he wants to die, there's nothing I'm gonna do about it. Yeah, I think it's very clear here that we're not gonna sign some dumb contract. I've taken a look at it. You know, even if it's genuine, no. I think we're just going to kind of kick him out of here. And yeah, you know what I would like? I'd like to look at his contract that he has with this so-called higher being. Someone bigger than Belcora, and plus if he were to be free. But I also want to move on. This is a tough call. I'm gonna just talk myself in circles here.
Telsara just goes completely silent at this point because it's kind of like she's trying to talk to walls, so she lets them decide on their own.
Artova is just simply standing and watching and listening, per usual, I would say. At least wise for her habits.
I really hate playing a cleric sometimes, because if this was me, guys, I'd be all over this. Like, yeah, hell yeah, give me the pen.
So is anyone doing any more healing on the newcomer?
I need to ask
probably
again,
will.
what was it called? I've been looking through my...
You want to make a medicine check on yourself?
Yeah, but
Treat wounds,
wasn't there like...
DC 15.
And
I think it would make more sense that Karma would continuously heal him, seeing as she's
or
the most
yeah.
adept at it.
yeah. I actually have a question. Would I be allowed to use one of my heal spells for...
Well, of course you can.
Why would I disallow that? You can do whatever you want. No, Kat, you can't do it. Don't be using heal spells anymore. You're not allowed.
No!
I was gonna say if that doesn't work, then I've got battle medicine.
Yep,
You guys
that's
You guys got plenty of healing and medicine checks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off at least another hour or so. And Draugr, what's your name?
Draug.
Draug.
It's a O sound, not a U sound. It's a O.
All right,
Draug.
so go ahead and put yourself at your full hit points, because these guys have more than enough abilities to do this. It might take a couple hours actually, plus maybe some magic spells.
And some sleep.
No sleep.
No sleep.
Let's see, what are we at? 5, 6.
Not yet.
Yeah, you got about 5 more hours before you can sleep, including you. Just to keep it simple.
So do I use heal or do I?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can save it because Karma.
No, go ahead and use it, because I'm giving him full hit points back. I'm assuming you're going to use some of your resources to do this, so somebody sacrifice a spell. Just push cast.
Okay.
Don't worry about adding it to his hit points, because he's going to be at full. And so is everybody, I guess. Yeah. So you're all good.
You're welcome.
Let me bump the time up again. So you could sleep in another 2 hours if you want to get spells back. That's up to you.
Yeah, we kind of need him to fight this guy.
All right, I'm going to make some checks and knock off the time if that's what we're going to do. I'll assume your marching order is your watch order in this case. And finally, Draug, if you want to grab any more equipment for your character, you're going to have to pull from your friends here, because there's nothing else. You do remember that you did have a very powerful maul that you used to wander around with. It's one of the things you prize the most is that maul, and it has runes on it that allow it to do a lot more powerful attacks. It's magical.
Well, he rummages through the equipment box after he sees the cleric do it as well, or one of the clerics, I guess. I guess we have 2. Merovia.
We got 3, including me.
3, yeah. So he actually takes the studded leather armor and puts on like whatever pieces fit on his big body, which is probably like the wrist guards, or he uses the leg guards or the greaves as wrist guards for himself. Fashions the robe into some kind of loincloth. That's pretty much it. Does anyone happen to have some healing supplies?
Healer's tools.
Karma has a few spells.
I have healer's toolkit.
Is it something you're willing to part with?
Probably not. If you only got one, you'd probably
yeah,
use it for yourself.
Salisari would shake her head, sadly.
I understand.
Karma's going to give you 1 elixir of life. So I put that in the cast if you want to grab it.
Waiting for it to update.
Crossbow, falchion, manacles, bolts. Bastard sword, halberd.
Oh, I didn't see that stuff.
Breastplate.
Yeah, it's the other one.
Bracers of missile deflection. Ring of energy resistance. A bedroll, torch, soap, flint and steel, elixir of life. And some chalk.
Yeah, I found it's loading for me.
Is it taking a long time for you?
Nah, I reloaded it because I thought it was the one.
Okay. All right. While we do
Can't see
this,
the other one.
you guys have gathered together in the room. Do you make what kind of precautions do you make to camp out in here? I'm assuming you're gonna sleep here. Start a little fire like you did before.
Like always, I'll push the tables up against the door, and I'll take first watch.
Okay. You are in marching order. I'm using marching order for this, but yeah, you are first watch, Bjorn.
Alright. When we get back, Cypher's gonna put her own healer's tools into the container. Since they were asked for. So she's like, I don't really need these. That's what I have all of you for. Go ahead.
So there you go. Drogue.
Hey, get some stuff.
Welcome to the campaign.
Indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
In his toga.
Loincloth, actually, at the moment.
Loincloth. Do you have a backpack?
No, I actually, now I have a studded leather armor on me. Actually, no, I don't. I have wrist guards and a loincloth.
Okay, it says you got some treasure there too, some coins. We'll assume you probably don't have any coins.
No.
So get rid of that. It says 15 gold pieces. You don't have no coins. Get that out of there.
All right.
Broke.
Man.
We'll assume your flint and steel is wrapped in your bedroll.
Yeah.
And your elixir, maybe that's tucked in your breechcloth.
Oh, yes.
Because you don't have a backpack. You got to kind of use common sense. How are you holding this stuff? So,
Yeah.
anything.
So I gotta get rid of all my coins.
Well, I don't know about you. Hold on. Your bedroll would be like a backpack, Fred. So anything you put in your bedroll, we'll kind of assume it's like a backpack. It's going to take you
like
2
a sling
actions
or
to get
something,
stuff out of that.
Yep.
And there is some armor in that one thing. If you want a breastplate, there's some good armor.
No.
All right.
It probably wouldn't fit in it. Anyway.
Okay.
But one thing. Where do I see what stuff does in damage? Because I don't see that in the thing.
Which
When I
weapon
look in-
are you looking at?
Yeah, let's say a bastard sword. I can't see. Oh, it says D12, two-hand D12.
You have to equip
it'll
it.
do.
You have to
But
equip
the
it.
halberd. Yeah. Oh, okay. You have to equip to see what they are.
Everything you got there, you need to mark as either worn. If it's armor, you have to wear it as worn armor. Or if it's a weapon, you have to equip it actually in your hands or mark it as worn. You have to actually equip it before it shows up in your thing. So
He picks up the halberd.
And you-
As we move out, he will pick up the.
right, there you go. Now you got it. So make sure you equip everything, or it won't count your armor. Like your studded leather, you have to equip it as worn armor.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, Kat, what was your question?
So, like, I was going to ask if I just remove all my coins.
Do you have your coins with you at the moment?
Oh.
Where is your coins? You got rid of all your treasure. You're treasureless. Well, I guess you're out of coins.
I didn't know if you want me to keep the coins or not. I didn't know if you want me to be.
Let me give you
I
some
didn't
coins.
know.
You got some coins on you.
Alright.
I'll put them in for you. There, you got some coins. You got them tucked away in pockets and pouches and shoes. All right?
Makes sense.
So you got a little bit of coins. Yeah, so don't forget, whenever you get a new piece of equipment, if you're going to equip it, there's a little picture of a blue shirt. I think it's blue. It's a little shirt symbol next on your equipment sheet, next to the equipment. And if you click that, a little drop-down menu shows up that says held one hand, held two hand, worn armor, stowed, dropped. That's how you keep track of stuff. So to gain the benefits of wearing armor, make sure you click on that little hand, or that shirt rather, and click that you're wearing it. Otherwise it won't count it in your armor class. Same thing with weapons. If you want them to show up under your as strike options, things you attack with, you have to actually equip them to your character. So just dragging something into your character sheet doesn't really do anything. You have to kind of equip it. I think there's a default where it automatically assumes something is worn or held or something, but that's how you do that. It's that little shirt symbol next to the item. Some items that are magical need to be invested. There's a little diamond symbol right next to the shirt symbol. If you click that, it means you invest it. It's basically you're turning it on. You're utilizing it. That's what that means. It's like, oh, a ring. How do you invest in a ring? Well, you put it on your finger. That's what it means. You invest it, click the button. It means it's on your hand. It's activated. Not activated, but usable. It's called investing. And that's the little diamond symbol. Like Martova, you have a amulet there. That is invested currently. You're currently wearing it. So the benefits of it are automated in the character sheet, or you can activate it yourself if it has special abilities that you need to call out during play. Okay? That's how that works. All right. You guys gather around your little fire, trying to relax and see what happens. You're going to sleep. In this case, we're going to go at least 8 hours. I've got your watch order, and we're going to roll some dice. See how the night proceeds. All right, let me see. Where are you, Thalsaria? It's going to take more than 8 hours to get your full rest, and you'll all be back. You'll get your spells distributed. But before we do that, Thalsaria, you're at the tail end of this. Only Bjorn remains awake, and he's on the other side of the room, perhaps, or near the fire. You remain near the door. During your watch, you hear something you've heard before. It's the sound of fire. Moving fire. It crackles. Briefly. And then it goes silent. You're very hesitant to open and peek through that door. If you do so, let me know. But you've heard something in the hallway beyond the door, and it fades in the distance. Strange crackling noises.
She's going to attempt to try and crack the door open slightly.
You do so. No check necessary. As you peek out there, you see blackness. You don't see any glows from fires. Nothing else happens. Bjorn, you notice that the door popped open to your little safe room here. You're keeping your eye on it. It's about time everybody wakes up and you feel like you want to start kicking some butts here and getting everybody around. But you did notice Thalsaria cracking the door.
As she cracked the door, Bjorn would kind of get up, long sword in hand, and kind of slink over to the door. What is it?
Did you wake the others or no?
I tapped Karma on the leg, Cypher, and Minerva as I passed.
All right, so they're kind of jostling around, rubbing their eyes. You head up to the door and you see where Thalsaria was peeking out. You can peek out as well if you want.
Sure.
Okay, you see blackness. Nothing. You're not sure what she was looking at.
What did you see?
Not what I saw, but more of what I heard.
Which was?
And she would go into detail explaining to him how she heard this sound of what sounded like moving fire.
It sounded like that floating skull. It had blue flames all around it that would crackle like fire. That's what you heard, Thalsaria. You're sure of it? Knowing what you know about that creature, if he is about and following or pursuing, you better be careful, Bjorn, for it has the powers of passing through walls, invisibility.
Indeed, we'll need to be on our toes. Bjorn will kind of go back and wake everybody up and notify them that the wandering skull kind of heard but not seen.
All right. You all get yourselves together, gather your equipment, wake up, rub your eyes. All right, now you can refresh your spells. So, spellcasters, if you want to pick different spells, click the Prepare Spells button on your character sheet. You'll see an assortment of spells. This is for Cat. You'll see an assortment of spells you typically commonly utilize. You could drag those onto your character sheet or click them, and they'll be your new spell for whatever particular slot you currently have empty.
Alrighty.
So if you want to swap spells, that's how you do it. Of course, since you're a cleric, you have access to all divine spells, and that prepare list, that doesn't have all the spells available to you, just the ones you commonly utilize. Also take note, Kat, that in this game, you have to prepare spells. If you want to cast it more than once, you have to prepare it more than once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can restore my other heal spell.
Your divine font currently is all heal spells. That's all you could use it for.
Okay.
So keep in mind that you can't have anything else in there. Your divine font list can only be heal spells.
Got it.
You can also have heal spells in your slots too. If you want more heal spells, you can drag those over to replace other spells. Okay?
Alright.
I recommend you just click Prepare Spells. The menu opens up with a bunch of spells, and if you want something instead of what's currently listed as prepared on your sheet, you could just get rid of it and add a new one. Swapping them. I think you drag them or something. If you have
Let
questions.
me actually see what other heal spells I have.
Alright, Cypher, so you're all good with spells?
Yep.
Okay, Karma, is she good?
I just hit the refresh button. I'm not going to touch her spells. So
Yeah,
we're
you
just
know
gonna
what?
run with what she has.
You know what? Let's leave Karma in shadow mode since we're at the safe room.
Okay.
Since she's not here. We got more than enough characters here. But she'll be following behind. But we're not going to use her. So keep that in mind.
Roger that.
Alright. You all set, Cat?
Alright. Yep.
Don't worry too much about Cat. You got a good assortment of spells already.
Yeah.
So you'll as you get more into the game, you'll know what you want and what would be best to do here and there, but keep it simple and you're good.
Alrighty.
And whoops, it's dark. You're using a light spell.
Yeah, on me.
What do you got to cast on your gauntlet?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you guys are all set, we'll head back down. Now, marching order. Let's do this real quick. I have Bjorn. Who wants to go second or side by side with Bjorn? I need both.
I'll go side by side with them.
All right.
And I'll go behind.
Cat. And behind Cat, when you're in single file, will be...
We'll slope around at the end of the train.
Right, Cypher.
What's the worst that could happen?
And... How about you, Thelsari? Do you want to be in the tail end? Where do you want to be?
Tail end.
Tail end? All right, I'm going to put Draug side by side with Cypher, or behind her when you're in 5-foot wide corridors. And behind him, always behind everyone, is Thalsaria. Okay. Now, exploration activities. I've got Bjorn currently. You are on search. You're looking for traps and things.
Indeed.
Search is good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Cypher, I have you on occult. You're doing investigating. Do you want to keep doing that or no?
Yeah, I want to keep doing that.
All right, Thalsaria, I have you in scouting.
Mm-hmm.
To the rear this time.
Mm-hmm.
Draug, describe what your character's doing as you travel around this group.
He is quite adept at survival, so he will look out for like weirdness when it comes to cave environments.
All right,
like what stands out, what is off.
All right, investigation, nature,
survival. I get nature or survival, doesn't matter. Whatever feels most plausible. Nature, maybe. I guess.
What's your lore?
I don't have a lore skill.
Oh, okay.
Martova, I forgot about you. Oh no, I have you written here as Cat. It should be Martova. What are you doing? Describe what you're doing.
Lore skill.
What are you doing as you walk around these corridors? Describe what she would be doing.
She would probably be writing in a journal of sorts about any sort of explorations that or discoveries they've been making throughout this whole trip of sorts, kind of keeping to herself, occasionally looking up and like looking around, staying aware of her general placement.
All right, I'm going to put you on investigation. Okay, what that means is that if any clues regarding a particular skill that I feel would be appropriate for you to be doing with this, as you described to me, I will secretly make a roll for you, a perception roll, or recall knowledge using that skill, actually, not perception. I make it for you. If you do come across something that you might have picked up on, I'll make a roll for you without you even saying anything, and I'll just suddenly say, hey, you find some strange runes or markings or scratchings in the floor here. Out of place, it seems. And then if you want to further investigate that might call for more checks. But at least you'll know. That's what you're doing. Okay?
Alrighty.
If there's a specific skill you want to focus on, tell me what that is, and I'll write it in. Like occult, nature, survival, arcana.
I like either survival or arcana.
Okay, so we'll go with arcana. That's a little different. Or religion.
Right.
That's even better, because you're a specialty at that.
Oh yeah, I got a master in.
Yeah, you are a master in it. You got a master degree in it. So, yeah, you're using investigation religion. So you'll make recall knowledge checks as necessary as they pop up using religion. So if anything comes up, a clue or something regarding a religion, you're going to pick up on it, hopefully. You're watching out for it. So that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are heading back down. You're going to visit Erevan?
I believe so.
Okay, the prison level. Here we go.
So I actually have to get off.
I was
Something's
on to
come
it.
up, and I have to go. So I'll just be Shadow with Karma.
Okay.
But good luck. Um, yeah, I have to go. I'll
right.
text you guys or Discord type you guys. Good
Please
luck.
do.
If I can
Have a good
get
one.
back on, I'll try.
All right.
Good luck yourself.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Make some progress here. All right, I think you guys are on the map now, right?
Draug is not.
Negative.
Okay, let me
Yep.
activate it. Okay, we should be there now.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, it's uneventful. You make your way down the spiral stairways from behind you. And make your approach. Once again, you see the doorway. The wall is not aglow. It is open. You can pass through. So if you want to, they're waiting for you.
Bro, are you sure you're fit to fight?
I am ready.
Fight with me. And we're kind of saying this as we're going. So sorry, I want you to pick up a position. Far away as you can.
Where are you going to be, Thalsaria? As long as you can see, you can be in the darkness anywhere you want, but as long as you can see the light where Bjorn is, or this chamber, you're okay.
Then right where she is will work.
Okay, wherever you've moved, you've moved. Ah, I see you've all returned. I am pleased. I have a contract awaiting you. And there you see, hovering next to him over his shoulder, you see once again the scroll unfold, awaiting a signature. I'm sure you have plenty of time to look at the contract. And he looks towards Cypher. Now, do we have a deal?
While Cypher's talking, Bjorn's going to kind of get himself into a better position here. He kind of stepped up. Bjorn would also step up.
All right, not
Kind
that
of
close.
going with her.
As soon as you make that kind of move, the others are right there in front of you. I don't want... If you guys want to make any closer moves than that, we're going to start rolling initiative. That's as far as you'll get before you're threatened by the glaives. Now remember, you're in here to do a contract. Not to cause a brawl, unless you have other plans. I think...
Yeah, but didn't we all say we weren't doing a contract?
Oh, you're not doing a contract at all?
I think that's what Cypher said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let's do this again then. You're going in to fight.
Pretty much, I think.
All right, so let's start over. I'll retcon that whole thing. All right, you've approached the door. You're in the lead, Bjorn.
We're missing Karma.
Karma's not here. She's out of the... She's not even in shadow mode.
Okay.
All right, so... What is your intention here? You're at the doorway. You're not going to do the contract. You're just going to go in. And are you? What's the plan? Do you have a trick up your sleeve, or are you just going to come in with swords drawn and just fight this guy?
Draug is clearly following Bjorn's lead on this.
It's getting
And the
kind of
group's lead.
exciting. But yeah, kind of. Even Cypher said that she wasn't going to sign it, so. I mean, I guess we could do the part where she wanted to see the contract that.
So, if you don't understand how this works, the contract works like this. There's no if you're bound to it. And what that means, if you don't do your end of the bargain of the contract, your soul is lost. That's it. If you complete the contract, you're no longer bound to it and your soul is yours. Whatever happens that's part of the contract is part of the contract. So there's really no threat of failure here. Failure in this case means that the demons remain and he's stuck here and a soul is lost. But the thing is, if you put your soul at risk with this contract, there is no demons. They leave. If you bring back the Carmen. That's all it is. There's no, as far as you can tell, nothing outside of that going to happen. You're not granted any extra powers. Nothing else is taken from you. It's a very simple, straightforward contract. Now, this is what Cypher would tell you. She looks at it. She has a copy of it. And nobody has lore skill in this kind of information, so that's the most you can derive from it. Now, all they want is Carmen. And as far as you know, Bjorn, Carmen was basically a criminal. He stole from the holy sanctuary. True, the sword was his relative's, but he stole from it. And you guys had to retrieve it back. That was a big ordeal. And you let him go. But he was full of hate. He was full of spite. He's not well liked in the town because of it. He's totally untrustworthy. But he traveled with you and, you convinced him to stick with you, and he parted with the sword at that point. But he hasn't been seen since. And all this devil is asking is for him. That's all he's asking for. That's it. He doesn't even want your soul. But you have to put it on the contract in case you fail. So you have to ask yourself the question, is my soul, one person's soul, or the group souls, whatever, whoever wants to sign it, is it worth putting that soul on the line to save Otari from the demons?
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, in Bjorn's head, it's Carmen's soul as well.
It's whose? Well, Carmen was a criminal. He stole from the holy sanctuary of the Dawnflower. You talk about unjust. There you go. He's a criminal. He's wanted.
This discussion has obviously gone on in the safe room for many hours while we're there. And Draug's reasoning behind it is that you don't condemn a human soul to eternal suffering in hell with demons.
No, Bjorn,
you don't do deals. You do not do deals with demons.
Yeah, and Bjorn's pretty much the same way, and I believe Karma was adamant not signing the contract as well.
Okay. All right, so that's the decision. It's final. You come to the doorway, weapons drawn. Are you going to kick the door open?
No, just going to open it normally.
Go for it.
Just going to kind of open it and step inside.
All right.
It's doing that.
Straight behind him.
Yeah, it's doing that dual token thing for me. I got to refresh 1 second.
It seems to happen when I move you and you move at the same time. It creates a duplicate.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, because I did that too. I just moved you All right, so Bjorn steps into the chamber. There awaiting him is Erevian and his 2 guards. However, their weapons are drawn and pointing in your direction. As soon as you step inside, I'm so sorry to hear that you've changed your mind. Hold on. I will ask you, are you sure about that decision? Consider carefully. Turning down my offer most likely means your death. He gestures meaningfully to his bodyguards. And he says this as soon as you step in without a word leaving your lips, Bjorn.
I was a soldier for many years. I should have done it so many times before. This is no different. You're just another obstacle to be overcome.
Where are the rest of you? I see where Draug is. Where's the rest of you?
I can't stand. I can't go here. I want to be there.
All right, I'll let you step in. I'll let one other person move in there.
If you hold space, Cat, you can kind of do it all in one go.
And
Thalsaria's gonna hang back.
I think Thalsaria would, or Cypher would as well. So you're both on the other sides of the doors. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good. Let me create a duplicate of this guy for purposes of this. All right, weapons are drawn. We're going to go into encounter mode at this stage. Not combat, but encounter mode. So everybody's going to be rolling initiative. Yeah, perception for everybody. So Kat and Fred, in this game, your initiative is by default perception. You make a perception roll at the start of an encounter. But it can actually be any other skill you have if you're doing, it depends on what you're doing at the moment an encounter breaks out. You can ask the GM, oh, I was stealthing and hiding in the shadows when these demons attacked. Can I use stealth for my initiative? A good idea if your stealth is higher than, say, perception. You can do that. Okay? In this case, we're going to stick with perception. Everybody's keeping their eyes peeled, weapons drawn, you know what's coming. So we're going to use just pure perception for this.
I just want to ask. I see the other people's perception as question marks, or their rolls as question marks. Is that like because they are rolling hidden, or is it because it's set up that way?
It may be because you're not in the encounter,
I am.
or maybe for a test to.
Well, can you see what I rolled?
I cannot.
Let me look at your token. It might have yours.
Drug rolled a 21.
Oh yeah, I can't see what you guys rolled because I see that you have rolled, but you are question marks.
I didn't even roll. I don't know why it gave me a number.
I might have did it.
Yeah, plus it's using your deception cat. Yeah, so you
Well, I
might have.
changed it. I changed it to perception.
I believe you can.
Disposition.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Huh. So it's not showing. Can everybody see everybody's initiative or no?
I can
No.
see everybody but
I
Cypher
can-
and Shroud.
Huh.
I can pretty much see everybody's.
I can only see mine.
What's happening? That's weird. It must be Foundry. I can see them all. All right, let's do it this way. Let's try it again. Because that's just weird. All right, took everybody out. Cat, go ahead and make your roll.
I turn all my modifiers off. Do I turn my modifiers off or not?
Just perception.
Just perception. Okay.
Your
Yeah,
modifiers. I think what you need
Yeah.
to do is, we're in the combat tracker. Right click on the little fist in the upper right of the screen on Foundry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your combat tracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I cannot see what she rolled. Question mark.
Huh, why is it doing that?
Question mark for Bjorn.
Oh, I rolled 24. Nice.
Covered by anyone. Represented actor. It's linked. No secret agenda. Appearance. Scale. Vision. Light. Resources. Estimates. I don't see why that's not working for you.
Maybe we all need to refresh.
Yeah, everybody refresh. It's okay. We got this. We got this.
Not the first time we've had issues with the initiative tracker.
Yeah, we've had some pretty wild ones, I'll tell you. Some crazy ones. So I see Kat's initiative of 24, Bjorn of 21.
I see a bar that says downloading world data.
Cypher.
Yeah, I'm back and I still see question mark. We'll roll on Draug. I actually see the rolls in the chat. It's just not on the encounter tracker.
That's actually natural because whenever you go into order, that's when your number actually shows up.
Yeah, like it won't show you as, like show your number until you actually go the first time.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay, we got everybody in there. Let's make him visible. Let's roll. Let's roll for the demons. Okay, you shouldn't see them, of course. Alright, begin the encounter. Revian is up first.
Oh.
I'll reveal him with a nice solid 38. He
I
immediately
did warn you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Anyway, he looks directly at you. He knows your intention, Bjorn. Your weapon is drawn. He knows your intention. I give you one last chance. These words in your head. Bjorn begin to speak to you. I give you one more chance. Will you sign the contract? Anyone will do. Otari depends on it. He pauses for a reply. Swirls of plasma begin to appear around him as you think. If you care to reply quickly, go for it.
Yeah, Bjorn would just look at it. No.
Okay. Flames. Gotta remember to put this on blind. 10-foot radius, 40-foot tall cylinder appears centered on you, Bjorn. As he calls down a rain of unholy fire that plummets down from above, or from above towards you. Either way would work with me. This is going to affect 10 feet. So 10. One of you will get out of this, I think. Is there anybody in the doorway? No.
No.
$10. It's going to affect all three of you. It won't affect Thalsaria or Cypher outside the room. Let me get rid of this. Plummets down from above, dealing 86 fire damage. Because the flame is infused with divine energy, creatures in the area apply only half their usual fire resistance. Creatures that are immune to fire Alright, so everyone's going to make basic reflex saves. So, yeah. Bjorn, basic reflex. Draug, basic reflex. And
That's a nat 20.
okay, you got a critical success on that. What about the rest of you? You need a 32. Alright, that's a failure for Draug.
I'm trying to figure out where.
There's actually a button at the bottom of the spell.
Oh, wait, there is?
Actually get the... Yeah, like if you look at the bottom of the spell, it'll have a button that says save.
Yeah.
You can just click that and it'll do it for you.
28.
28. What did you need? A 32. So that's a success. Or fail. So we got two fails, which means you're going to take whatever I roll as damage. You don't take any damage at all, Bjorn.
Oh, no.
You got a critical success, so you don't take any damage. Here comes the damage. It's going to be 8d6 plus 37 points of damage on Draug and Martova. So unless you got fire resistance. The floor erupts in flames all around you. Only Cypher and the other elf who remain outside the room are immune to this flame, this fire. You begin to scream in pain as it licks up your leg and up your arms and begins to dissipate after the horrors of the scene, Bjorn. You can't help but think, maybe I made a mistake. No, you would not question your fate. Onwards.
Oh, I'm absolutely questioning it, but Bjorn's not. He's committed.
All right, he's got one more action.
Man, I'm down to half already.
He issues orders to his bodyguards as he begins to pull back and away. Get off of this. Let's see, as he vacates the chamber. And he is done. Thalsaria, you're up.
All right. Let's see here. So she's going to immediately do. She is going to do hunt prey.
Okay.
And then once that is done, she's going to do hunted shot.
Who is the hunted prey?
It's going to be one of the lower demons.
All right, so what we're going to count here is both of them. You're counting these Barbazu demons as the foe. So they both are subject to your hunted prey. They both count as hunted prey.
Okay.
Not the main demon. He's sufficiently different. He's also out of sight.
Yes, I wouldn't be able to hit him.
You can't see him. I think you have to see them to be able to count
Yeah,
prey on.
I've got to see him.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to do hunted shot.
Put that in the chat too.
Gonna hero point that. Oh, I forgot to do the hunted shot. There we go.
So that allows you 2 shots with 1 action. Both are subject to the multi-attack penalty, as usual. So Hunt Prey takes an action.
32.
Okay. 32 against these guys. Okay, you hit. 24 is the armor class. You would know that because you fought them before. So it's a normal hit on the first one. Damage. 8 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm. Second shot. $22.
$22 is a miss.
Gonna take one more shot then.
Oof.
The temptation to do a hero point is there, but I'm gonna let that one go.
Okay, so you're just down an arrow. Okay, you're done. Thalsaria whips around the corner and starts shooting wildly at these creatures, these beasts. It is a little harder to hit them because your friends are in the way. Their armor class is going to be a little bit better. Keep that in mind. You want a clear shot, if possible. Draug, you're up. We'll assume your weapon is out and ready.
Yes. Has been since we left the safe room.
Yes.
Well, Draug defiantly looks at the unharmed of these 2 Absu demons, which was obviously the one that kicked him the last time he was here.
That would be that
shouts
guy right
shouts out a war cry from the realm of the Mammoth Lords. And I will try not to scream, but yeah.
there. Sound like a bear or a badger?
No. Hey, Draugr! and does an intimidate check towards that foe.
Okay, make an intimidation roll. I think it's their will
There we
DC.
go. Demoralized. Oh, how do I do that? I thought I just could click it.
Yeah, like you could just go to.
I
where it
have
says
to go to
intimidation.
intimidation. Yeah. I thought it would work like that. Let's see. Skills. There we go. Intimidation. 30. Ah, wow.
You can use a hero point.
Yeah, he will.
Okay.
Let me roll it straight away.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That was not good.
Damn.
It's those dice. They're
That
pink.
was one check. Can I? No, I can't do it. But I do. I actually have stare down, so I will do that on the one that Felsaria actually shot. So I will do an intimidation on him as well. There we go. A bit better.
You're attempting to intimidate the same guy or the different one?
No, the one up top. I can't, since I failed against the first one, now he's immune in 10 minutes. So I can't do it on the same one, so it's on the other one.
He hears, what does this look like? What is this intimidation? I think you did it. You screamed.
It's just a stare down.
Yeah.
Stare down.
That other one kind of flinched slightly, but then it just grimaced, eager to get at you. It's unaffected. He's got his eyes on you.
Give me a second, I need to take away the hero point. Click, there we go. I will do a ready action.
You need 2 actions to do that.
Oh, sorry.
You got 1 action left.
I got 1 action left. I will raise my shield.
Okay.
Alright. Let me look at my spells here. I might just want to try to eradicate these two off the face of the earth.
Don't forget you took
Do
a
it,
heck
bang.
of a blast there.
Yeah, I know.
You're wounded.
Let me see here.
Seren Ray. Magical tattoos. Yeah, I forgot all about that silliness. Yeah, that's what that is. It's pretty useful. You could do a shield block too with it.
Oh, wait. I have an idea. I am going to...
Bjorn, you're after her.
I'm ready.
I'm going to use painful vibrations.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So let's see. 100 feet targets 1 living creature that you can see. So whoever that might be. Wow, 8d6 sonic damage and must attempt a fortitude save. The results thereof are described below. So, yeah. Who do you want to be the target?
The barely damaged one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. You target him. You send a powerful sound wave through the opponent's body. The demon begins to shake, to quiver. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright, what do I have to roll here?
And I will make his savings throw. Fortitude, DC 26.
Yeah, there's a button right up underneath their cat that says roll damage.
Yeah, there's a button that says roll damage. Click that and look at that pile of dice fly. Alright, so you got 30 points of sonic damage on this creature. He makes his savings throw, which is a success, which means the target takes half the damage you rolled. Simple as that. There's no other effects. So 15 points of damage, which, let me double check.
That's still plenty.
Alright, he's not immune to it. We do have some resistances, though. I don't think this counts. You're doing sonic damage. I don't think sonic damage is considered. Well, I gotta deduct it. I'll look this up afterwards. This is very good. He begins to shake and quake. His body. He looks put off by that attack. Very good. You have one more action.
Let me look at my other spells here.
No. No.
Is it one action to use your armor class, or...
Your armor class always applies. Whatever it is what it is. If you have a shield, you can raise it, and that'll boost your armor class. But that's not your case. I don't think you have a shield. No, so your armor class is good. 26. That's your dexterity and your armor. Already factored in. So you have one action. There's generally not a lot of spells you can cast with one action. Sometimes a lot of cantrips might be. Not a lot, but some cantrips might be. But you could intimidate the foe. You could call him to surrender and give up in the name of the Dawn Flower. Maybe intimidating with that. You'd make an intimidation check. It's a debuff against the demon. That might be useful. You could attempt to move with a stride action, moving up to your speed. Whatever your speed is, it's usually 25 for a human. Whatever your speed is, you'd be able to move that. You could shut the door. You could run into the room, run away, all kinds of things. Use battle magic on a friend or yourself. If you have, not battle magic, battle medicine. You could use it on yourself. If you have healer's tools close by and ready, you can do it.
I'll do an intimidation check.
There you go. What does this look like, Kat?
Like, probably Martova, like, raising her scimitar above her head and just, like, letting out a war cry, probably.
Not really saying anything? Just grunting?
No.
All right. It'll be easier for him then to pass this because you're not really speaking to him to intimidate. That's okay.
But she is trying to make herself, like, seem bigger than the demon, essentially.
Okay. Go for it.
So,
it's a skill. Intimidation check
yeah.
against his will DC. Oh, he seems to totally brush it off. You're no threat. You will die, in fact. He laughs at your threats. Your intimidating stance. You're done.
Yeah.
Bjorn, you're up. Very good, Cat. Good show.
I'm going to cast this.
Clad
in metal. I'm going to turn my longsword +1 of striking into a +1 striking silver longsword for 1 minute.
Silver?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's going to count as a silver weapon for 1 minute.
We are fighting demons.
Okay, so that's...
Unless they are devils. Don't you need, like, cold iron for that?
Could be.
Game, though.
Could be.
Something like that. Could be. But Cypher's hit him with a silver longsword before, and it worked. And then we're going to do battle prayer on the one that's barely injured. So I need to make a will check. Well, I need to make a religion check against the target's will DC.
That's this guy right here, right?
Yeah, the upper one. I will hero point that.
Oh, natural 1.
30.
30. His will. Yeah, that's going to beat that. I think it's 23. Where is it? Yeah, it's 23 in this case. You fought him before, so you needed a 23.
And
So success.
That's normal. So he's going to take 2 points of spirit damage. I'm done.
Spirit damage.
Yes, sir.
2 points. Okay, that gets through. It reels. Yeah. It reels from the mention of these heroes of Ayamode, these litanies that you begin to recite and the deeds they've done. He pulls back. He begins to shake even more. He took a little damage. This Barbazu. Next, we're going to go to those little guys. They're next. We're using group initiative for the monsters, so they both go at once. Let's see. This one that just shook and reeled, who's brandishing his hell-forged glaive, looking intently at the cleric before him. Not you, Bjorn, but the other one on your flank, to the right. It's going to make an attack against her. It has a reach of 10 feet. 10, when it's 5, 10, it has to get a little bit closer. It does so. Now you're within reach. It swings at you with a series of blows, Martova, as you try to dip and dodge out of the way.
What do I roll?
Just wait for the attack. Here it comes.
Oh, boy.
Your armor class is 26. It got a 32. It's going to be a normal hit. In addition, there's going to be some other stuff involved here. You're going to take 21 points of spirit and slashing damage. So, you know how to do that, right? Deduct 3 points minus 21.
Oh, wait.
You did it wrong.
Yeah.
You got to put in the deduction.
Yeah, wait, no, I don't think. Wait, 21.
What did you have, 32?
Yeah, 32.
All right, so what you do is double-click.
No, not 32. 35.
All right, 35. Let's put you 35. Okay, 35. Now, double-click on your hit points so it's highlighted.
Uh-huh.
Next, right-click. Or no, don't right-click anything. Put in minus 21 and then hit enter.
Okay.
As long as it's highlighted, it'll change to whatever that value is. 35 minus 21.
Right click. Then...
Well, don't bother. Don't right click. Just. Oh, you're at 0.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh, I'm on the brink of death.
There's different ways to reduce your hit points. You can do it on your character sheet. Just put in the new value.
Alright.
But in your case, you just put in negative 21, enter.
Alright.
And it should work. If you have trouble with it or not sure if you can pull it off, let me know and I'll just do it for you. It's
alright.
Pretty easy on my end. All right, so you took that blow. Now, what I need you to do now... Glaive Strike deals 1d6 bleed damage. This is not going to be good for you. Flat check. Just stop the... Okay, I know all about that. Yeah, so it's called Infernal Wounds. You're going to do bleed damage. You're going to take bleed damage every freaking round.
Oh, brother. Man, I'm probably going to scoop myself out of the room and heal myself.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, get behind me. Now you understand why Bjorn said, get behind me.
Get out. You're gonna die.
Oh, I'm not gonna die.
Bjorn's just gonna probably WWE finish the demons.
Oh yeah, we're gonna clap some ass in here.
Hell yeah. German suplex him over your back.
Alright,
I
so
don't know,
what
it's
did it
called
do?
Zion.
Strided, made an attack. It's going to attempt attack again with a second action. Again, with the glaive, it's going to attack you again. Actually, I roll a dice here. 2 and 6 chance he's going to change his target and attack Bjorn. Yep, he's going to attack Bjorn. So he's going to try and
Give it to me.
he's going to try and check Bjorn here with the glaive. 27 just hits you. Alright, so you're going to take some normal damage. It's going to be 22 points of spirit and slashing damage.
Okay.
Also, you take 1d6 bleed damage, so you're bleeding as well. Both you and Kat take an additional 3 hit points of damage. Kat, I'll do it for you.
Alright.
I didn't deduct that. That's from the bleed damage. Bjorn, you're going to take an additional 3 points as well for the bleed damage this round. So, how persistent damage works in this game, if you're subject to it, which you are, Kat, at the end of every one of your turns, you're going to take 1d6 bleed damage.
Until I heal myself?
Every turn. I'll get to that. After that's done, again, at the end of your turn, that comes first. You take the damage. After that, you can attempt to stop the bleeding. It's automatic. You automatically get a chance to stop the bleeding. It might stop on its own, essentially. The DC for that in this case, I think, is 20. Because it's an infernal wound. It's more deadlier and harder to recover from than a normal bleeding wound. So it's a DC 20 flat check. You're just going to roll a D20, no modifiers. You need a 20 or greater to stop it from bleeding. The DC, however, in this case is reduced to 15 only if the bleeding creature or an ally successfully assists with the recovery. The DC to administer first aid, which is what you do in this case to help somebody who's bleeding, suffering from an infernal wound is increased by 5. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to recover from. So this is not good.
No.
I'll tell you what to do next when you get there, so you're good. All right, this creature is done. The other one is going to also... Oh, let me see. He might want to do something else. He does have something here. What is it? Ranged attack, not melee. No, he's going to... Actually... No. Yeah, he's going to do the same thing. This time on Newborn, he's going to advance slightly so he catches both you and the barbarian. Give me a number from 1 to 6. Fred.
4.
It's going to attack Bjorn. That's his target. So Bjorn, you're subject to another attack. This is its second action with the Hellforged Glaive. A series of blows come in your direction, cutting through the air. He gets a 30. I'll leave that up since you fought him before. That is going to be a hit. He's going to roll damage. You're already suffering from bleed damage. I'm just going to do an additional few points of damage to you for that, but you already got bleed. I'm not going to double it up. 20 points. Plus... four more points of bleed damage cut into you. And he's got one more attack. It's going to do the same thing. These guys are protecting their lord and liege. .28's going to hit. It's going to be damage.
Yep, normal.
You take 20 points plus a d6 for bleed damage.
Awesome.
It's going to be a 1. So 21 points of damage from his attack. So they really laid into you, and they're both done. We're going to go to Cypher. Cypher, who's in shadow mode, is not going to do much except to inspire everyone with music, with a musical tribute. Ah, be brave, my friends, be brave, be brave. Inspire courage. You should see that in the chat. Everybody drag that spell effect, Courageous Anthem, to their token.
Roger that.
You're going to get a little bonus there. Did you get it, Fred?
The what now? Yeah.
It's in the chat, you'll see highlighted text called Spell Effect Courageous Anthem. You drag that to your token.
There we go. To my token, yeah. There we go.
Who else didn't? I think she gets it herself, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Little inspiration. Okay, she's done. She does back away, though, towards the doors. And we're going to go to round 2, which starts with a Revian. Where is he gone? Where is he? You think to yourselves. He's going to make an appearance once again. You were all fools. I warned you. I still give you the chance. The contract awaits. Is there any immediate reply?
No. That was Bjorn's reply.
I feel like if Martova would just, in like all exhaustion, look at, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, and would look at him and just essentially flip him off. She may be dying, but she does not care.
Okay. Wow. As he makes his appearance, let me see if he can, who he can see here. Yeah, he can see you, Cat. He can see the three of you from that position there. As he strides back into the room, looking disappointed at your reply, Bjorn. He begins to weave in the air once again as magical bluish tendrils, in this case, begin to appear and glide and pull and stream from his fingertips. Magic is in the air. You hear a crackle. And then the crackle goes quiet. On you, Bjorn. Let me see if there's a check here. No. You hear nothing but silence. You can't even hear your own thoughts, but that can't be true. Your voice, you begin to cry out a battle cry. Nothing can be heard. You don't hear yourself. We have a silence spell in effect on Bjorn. I already drug it to your token, so you're okay with that. You have been silenced. And yeah. Emanates from the touched creature, silencing all sound and passing through a 10-foot radius. Let me see, is this 4th level? Oh, yes. So the heightened effect also kicks in. The spell effect emanates from the touched creature. That's you, Bjorn. Silencing all sound in or passing through a 10-foot radius and creating and preventing any auditory or sonic effects in the affected area. While within the radius, creatures are subject to the same effects as the target. So you're all silenced. Depending upon the position of the effect, a creature might notice the lack of sound reaching it, blocking off the noise coming from the party. So if you've want to cast a spell with the auditory trait, or use any type of feat with the auditory trait, or ability with the auditory trait, you can't. You've been silenced.
Unless you get out of the zone.
In the case of those surrounding you, yes. But you're subject to it. You are the target.
That's fine. I don't
For
plan
one-
on casting a spell.
For 1 minute. Everybody else, just know that if you're close to Bjorn, you're also affected by this silence. You're going to have to move. And that lasts for a minute or until you vacate being near Bjorn. And that is going to end his turn. We're going to go to Thalsaria. Thalsaria, you are also silenced. You're caught in that.
Okay.
You hear nothing. Let's see what that does to you guys. Little silence.
Thalsaria is gonna move. Let's see here. She's gonna get in a position where she can see. Once she sees. Why do I keep on forgetting his name? Avarian?
Good enough.
Arabian.
Arabian. I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why.
You're up next, Strog, when she's done.
She is going to do hunted shot on her hunted prey again.
Right. Okay. Make your 2 rolls for 1 action. 2 attacks. They're going to get a bonus to their armor class because these guys are in the way.
36.
Oof. Which one? The top one or the bottom one?
Top.
Top one? Okay, 24. That is a critical hit. $27 points of piercing damage. However, this creature seems to resist the damage considerably. It's going to take a little less damage.
Gonna do my sec.
It's still a lot of
Go ahead.
damage. That was your first
Right.
attack.
Here's my second.
Are these combined? Are these attacks
For some
combined
reason-
for resistance purposes?
It should be, but for some reason it's not doing it. I don't know why.
Where's your hunted shot? Put it back in the chat. Hunted shot. You must take both at the same creature combined. Their damage for the purpose of resistances. Alright, so I need to know how much you do with your second attack as well before I apply any resistance. That's powerful.
$25.
25 is a hit. No, I'm sorry. He has armor class bonus. That's a miss.
Gonna do hero point on that one.
You can. Use him while you got him. 23 is a miss.
And then gonna do my last shot on him.
Right, wait a minute. Let's resolve your first shot.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Sorry.
27 minus resistances, which you don't know about, is... Okay. Okay, you got one more action.
Alright, last action, last shot.
He's looking pretty bad. He's badly injured, but he's somewhat resistant to your physical attacks. 22 is a miss.
And that's the end of her turn.
Yeah, these guys are in the way. Okay, next is Draug.
Yes, I need to check a thing first. Disarm should be 5 feet away, right? Draug looks over to Martova and Bjorn and stares at them intently before he steps out of the room.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh.
As you begin to withdraw and pull away, this one creature down here sees an opportunity to strike at you with the glaive yet again. This is a retributive strike this creature has with the glaive. With a 10-foot reach. As you begin to pull away. What's your armor class?
25, I think.
It missed. So continue.
24.
Continue your move.
I stand there. Error token collide.
Careful, careful.
Token collide. I want to stand just south of Thelsara.
Click on that, drag it out to there, and then hit space and then drop down.
There we go. Yeah. And there I will do a ready action, which the trigger will be when something steps in to hit me, I will hit it back.
So when it gets...
I have a 10-foot reach as well.
Okay.
Do I need to drag that?
You're fine.
To me. Yeah, we'll remember. Yeah. And that's my 3 actions.
Do you have attack of opportunity anyway? As a barbarian?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
Retributive strike is what it's called. Because that's effectively what you're doing, but you're spending 2 of your actions this turn to do that attack of opportunity.
Barbarians do not.
I have attack of opportunity.
There's no...
But a creature within... if they move into... Okay. So I can do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can already do
okay, then I will still do a ready action. And I will change it to disarm. If they step into the doorway. I will attempt to disarm whatever steps in there.
And a disarm...
That is an enemy.
Just to be sure. Disarm is a single action, so you should be able to do it. So... Yeah, I could see you doing that. And that's against their glaive, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I could see that happening. Attempt to disarm them as soon as they come within reach of you, which literally would be 5 feet.
Yes.
They have a 10-foot reach.
Within 10, I will... Yeah, but I have that too with my halberd, so I would smack them at 10 foot.
Alright, I'm just considering the fact that you have a character, the elf in front of you, getting in the way, plus you've got a corner of a wall and a doorway, so you're really restricted to how far you can reach somebody. You could probably You could probably reach Martova and maybe Bjorn 10 feet away.
But
this one corner here, maybe not. The one corner down here. We'll see what happens when we get to it.
I'm thinking that is the other side of the wall.
Okay.
Which means that I can't hit there, but I can hit this.
Right.
Whatever. I can't ping now.
Right.
Yeah, I can. No, I can't. Never mind.
Make a note that you have a trigger for that readied action. Okay. Next is going to be Bjorn.
Didn't Kat go ahead of me? Thought she had a 24.
Where is she?
21.
I don't see her in the...
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. She's after you.
Martova has a 21.
Yeah, but she had a 24 before, so shouldn't she go first? Because that's how it was last round.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened? Did you get...
I could have sworn I went... Well, here's the thing. I could have sworn I went... Actually, I don't even remember if I went first. Well, I went, like, second after.
Like, I remember being Arabian, Thalsaria, Draug, and then Martova, then me.
What's happening? Let me refresh. I got duplicates and stuff on my screen. Boy, tonight's an active night for Foundry. It's acting up.
Everyone's playing role-playing games.
Could be.
Yeah, I will need to call it here soon.
Getting tired?
Yeah.
You don't work tomorrow, do you?
No, it's
Just
been a
tired.
long day.
All right, Kyle. Let me get back in here and we'll finish this round. So, yeah, ready action. During your turn, you can use what's called a ready action kit. And you spend 2 of your actions to get 1 action as a reaction to do whatever you want. You have to decide what the trigger is and what the action will be. You sacrifice 2 of your actions now for a single reaction later on. It's a reaction. In other words, a reaction takes place outside of your turn. That's what a reaction is. That's what you're doing with a reaction, or a ready action, sorry.
Huh.
That's what that is. And anybody could do that. Okay, I'm back in. Got our initiative, and it looks like... Alright, so when did you actually go, Martova? I remember you being up there...
Yeah, like she had a 24.
24?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
went before me.
Alright, let me roll this again, and then change the value. I accidentally took you out of the chat. Took you out of this thing.
27 is okay as well, I guess.
No,
Doesn't matter.
That's not going to be. We're going to make that 24. And okay, that's what it was. There you go. So, Martova, you're up before Bjorn.
Well. Alright, so I would assume it'd be my turn.
It's your turn right now.
Okay. So then... Wait. I gotta think here. I'm just gonna drag myself out. I was trying to do that in one thing, but I don't know exactly how to do that.
You have to go around walls. You could use the up and down, left, right arrows on the keyboard to move 1 square at a time. You could move diagonal that way if you want. You could also, with your mouse, drag to where you want to be. Or, while you're dragging your mouse, at any point, you could click the space bar and create a little movement to hub, rather. So you're creating these little points along a map to move along. And then when you're happy with where you're going, created all your little space bar nodules, release the mouse button, and it will automatically move along that route.
Huh. That's neat. But the main reason I moved out here is because I gotta heal.
You're out of the silence zone as well, so you can cast spells without a torch.
Also do your full move. I don't know how long you can move, but that would be a prudent thing, like to step away as far as you can.
Yeah, I think you moved 15 feet so far, and I think you have 25 max on a stride.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 feet. So you can move another 10 if you want.
Yeah. Which heal do I do? Because...
Well, you got 2 actions left, so you're limited to 2 action or 1 action heal. Put it in the chat. There it is. And
yeah. Would I do heal living, or would I do regular heal if I'm healing myself?
That's you. You're living.
Yeah. You would do action because you get back an extra D8.
Alright.
Is it D10 for her? Oh, it's healing hands.
Let me see here.
See what she's got.
She does have healing hands, so this will be 2d10s plus a d8.
Yeah.
So all you have to do now is hit roll healing.
Yeah, remember to move your full move before you do that, though.
Yeah, which is what I did.
Now you have 10 more feet. Want me to
Yeah,
move
you
you
should
here?
be able to move more.
It's up to you, Kat. Do you want to move there or remain where you were?
I mean, where I was.
Okay. She didn't want to
44.
move, Fred. She's
That's
okay.
some dangerous play.
Well, she'll learn.
Mm-hmm.
You also get what's called communal healing. Whenever you cast a heal spell, you can target a single creature other than yourself. They regain hit points equal to your spell's level. And you have the improved version of that.
Which I think allows her to be healed as well. I think. But let's keep it simple. I think she did the right thing there. She did the do 2 heal, 44 on herself. Is that total, or does she get a D8 on top of that?
No, that was
no,
total. Well, that was, yeah. It was two. It was 2d10s and then 1d8.
Okay, you got your hit points figured. Excellent. You're all set.
That's an awesome heal. Well done.
I love the heal spells in Pathfinder. Really are versatile. Next up is
Bjorn, you're getting healed next.
Okay, well, speaking of that, Bjorn's
he can't hear
back
you.
up.
He can't hear you. He's in a silent zone.
Yeah, Bjorn's actually going to back up.
Silencing everybody again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he moves back, Delsar would have moved.
You can't.
You have to wait for your turn unless you had a ready action to do just exactly that. So.
That's right.
But Bjorn's going to back up, and I'm going to spend 1 action to cast the first action version of heal. It's somatic, not verbal.
Okay, you got it. Six.
Back. And then for my last action, and I have a hand free, so I will use battle medicine as well, with assurance and medicine.
On yourself?
On myself.
Awesome.
That's another 2d8 plus 10, so that's another 15 back. And then, yeah, Bjorn's kind of taunting them, like, come out the door.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh,
don't I have to roll something for...
DC 20 to stop the bleeding. You just took an extra 2 points of damage. I think it applied to you already?
Yeah, it took it. 8, nope.
Wasn't Martova supposed to roll as well for hers?
Yeah, I'm going to get to them in a second. So he failed. You're still subject to that. Now, Martova, you're bleeding as well. Let me scroll up here and see if it rolled your persistent damage, because it should have as soon as your turn ended. I don't see it. Martova's healed for 44 damage. Persistent damage. Nobody did first aid, so yeah, you're gonna take D6 for whatever reason it didn't roll for you. So let me roll that. You're gonna take 1 point of bleed damage, and I need you to make a DC 20 flat check. Just roll a D20, no modifiers.
All right.
You know how to do that, right? On the bottom of the chat area, there's dice you can click on. Just click once on D20 and hit roll. 14. Failed.
Damn.
All right, so you're still bleeding out. So somebody needs to do first aid on you, or you just need to pass this roll at the end of your turn to stop the bleeding naturally. All right, so that's taken care of. Thank you, Rachel. I'm dizzy. Creatures are up next. They can't hear anything you're saying. But they see you backing up and out of the room. Okay, let me roll a dice here. Yeah, let me roll a dice for this. There's a 2 in 6 chance that they're not going to advance forward because of mind reading going on with the demon dude. And he got a 2. So they are going to follow the orders of Revian, who knows what you're doing and reads your thoughts. You are going to back up, and they're going to hold their ground with their glaives at the ready. They're going to ready some actions, in fact. We're going to go to Cypher. And she's going to continue with that spell. Do that real quick. Wishes produce flame. Inspire courage. She begins to continue her song. So everybody drag Courageous Anthem to their tokens again. It's good for another round. And that'll end her turn. And this round, we'll go to round 3. So I don't think we're going to finish this battle.
Yeah, and that'll give the other players a chance to get involved here. I hope so.
All right, so yeah, we're going to call it there. So let's just jump right into final thoughts about the game. Bjorn, you're up first. Kyle, what'd you think? What are you fearing most in this encounter?
Well, I'm fearing most of these Barbazu dudes, because Revian's kind of a letdown. I mean, he cast the spell, I got a crit success, and then he silenced me. He ain't really done a whole lot. So, yeah, my biggest concern is these 2 demons. And if this can work how my plan, I think, is going to work, it's going to be a little bit easier on everybody. But yeah, I enjoyed myself, as always. Sorry that we kind of had to leave Fred hanging there for a little bit longer than we anticipated. It's always interesting, because if it was up to me, I would have taken the deal and just been like, fine, I'll go hand this guy over to you. But it's kind of hard when you're playing a cleric who's got his own version of righteousness. But yeah, outside of that, I had a blast.
How about you, Fred? What'd you think?
Awesome session in general. Like I said, I don't have I mean, I felt like I was part of the narrative from the very start, really. So I didn't really, feel left out or anything like that, and that you guys left me hanging. I don't want you to feel that at all. I thought that part was awesome, and it kind of builds my character even more. And I kind of started thinking about more background stuff about him. Yeah. And about the deal here with the demon. I mean, that's something that's written into the background of my character. He would never do that. As a player, though, there's quite a lot of, what should we say, green flags, or the other way, red flags maybe, to take that deal. Because it's kind of, that narrative is kind of being pushed at us as players. And if I would have played something else than Draug, then I would probably have signed that deal a long time ago as a player. But all in all, yeah, awesome. I'm enjoying myself immensely. Looking forward to next Sunday. I want to hear what the other players think.
So do I. What's going on? Kat, what did you think? Were you as deep in it as everybody else?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I am. Good. The general idea, I guess the main reason why I made Martova essentially think that, I mean, it's a demon and all, there's always a chance that they could do a 180 and, despite the contract, essentially go backwards on their word and undermine it themselves. So, essentially the reason why I made her do that is because I can see Martova having a sense of morals that would seem wrong, but they're not strongfully wrong. and like compared to Bjorn, they're more, I would say, odd, because Bjorn seems to be the type of fighter to fight for the people, to fight for what's truthfully and rightfully right. And Martova, she essentially fights for the mere fact that if there has to be a fight, there has to be a fight. You can't deny it. And that's sort of the general idea of that whole the whole thing. I just really like it. The story, I really like the story as well.
Plus, it's two different deities entirely. So,
Yeah.
you would have this kind of, same kind of thing of, hey, let's do the right thing, but it varies from deity to deity.
Yeah.
How about you, Dizzy? What did you think of this mess you got yourselves into? What's in your mind?
Mixed bag of emotions. More so on the situation than on the fighting. I honestly, it's a struggle to give feedback on it.
You're kind of clinging to the shadows. But when it comes down to it, you really want to get this Erevian. So you need to think about that. When the battle gets close and in tight, close quarters, and things happen, you got to think about how your character, Thelsari, is going to react. Very much like Draug, who's also in a similar situation, who would love to slit the throat of this Erevian. You both have a little vendetta going there against this guy. You especially. Because you were tortured too. And beaten. And enslaved by this demon. And, well, choices are made. Decisions, you're sticking with them. That said, he still has that hovering above his shoulder, the contract. It's still there, as far as you can tell. And he's been speaking to you. In your minds, telepathically. It still stands, as far as you know. But this is where we're going to call it. This is where we're going to end the session in the middle of a battle, which means next week we're going to start in a battle. And hopefully everybody will be around and feeling good. Karma and Rachel number 1. Get them back into the action. Kat, you did outstanding.
Thank you.
Love it that you're here playing with us. Fred as well. I'm glad your character finally got pulled into this mess, and we'll see what comes of this breechcloth wearing barbarian with halberd in hand. Is that what you got, a halberd? Jeez.
Reach 10, baby.
You're welcome.
There you go. It's going to be a good combat. Folks, we're going to call it here and see everybody next time. Thanks for watching. Episode 89 is next. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Till next time, folks, you guys hang in there. You know why. It's only going to get better. See you soon.